Corn. What?
Oh, have you not seen that PS4
Oh,
theme?
oh no, 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 no. That's not a mod. That's the Alexa version. That's actually what it's called.
Corn Love Forever.
No, Skyrim very special
Oh,
edition.
Skyrim very oh, that's not as interesting as I thought.
Yeah, they had that as a joke at E3 this year.
Yeah. I remember seeing it and being like, "That's stupid," and then it's like, "That's actually a thing." It's like, but why?
because because Todd has to be in on the jokes.
I love Todd. I have like fucking I I have problems with Todd Howard, but I love Todd Howard.
If I unmute the stream, am I gonna be hearing double you?
um, yeah, probably.
Okay. Are they gonna hear me?
Yes.
Okay, good. I don't want to hear myself then.
Just so I know, Twitch still says the game I'm playing is Diablo 3. Hello, Wazen. Let me see what's up with that. It could be that it could be that
Hello.
it could be that stream. Well, it says on my end I'm playing Skyrim, so maybe give it a refresh.
Okay, I thought you said like it still says that on my stream. I'm going to blame Skyrim.
Well, I am going to blame Skyrim. Damn you, Todd Howard. The corruption is spreading. So I've already played through the intro bit because like nobody wants to see that for the 30 millionth time.
I don't. I like this game and I don't.
It's like it's like because I don't think there is an alternate start mod on PS4.
There might be like a super simple one.
Yeah, but there's not like the good one.
Yeah, there's a bunch of good ones on PC.
Like I like as much as I don't like the guy behind it, the one where it's like you're in a room and there's a statue to like Bella or something in there.
That was my go-to for a really long time.
It's like the guy who made that is a turbo shithead, but like
Really, I'm not up on mod drama.
yeah, like I don't want to name him because like you know if you speak people's names it gives them power, but
Yeah, I didn't find out until way after I started using it that Open Cities, right?
yeah,
Yeah, the guy who made that is also a.
it's the same guy.
It is okay.
So anyway, I'm playing a Khajiit.
Good. I
Because
thought you were Argonian for a second.
no, I'm playing a Khajiit.
The ultimate cat.
Yeah, I'm the ultimate Catman. There is no Catman in Skyrim better than me. I'm level 1. So a little bit of like sort of background as to where I'm at with the Elder Scrolls series. So I know you expressed on Twitter, like it was either 1 or 2 days ago that you tend to be the only one who just sort of unironically enjoys Skyrim.
Yeah.
Uh,
Most of my friend groups.
I'm in the I'm in a similar but distinct position of being the guy whose favorite Elder Scrolls is the Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion.
Oblivion is really good.
I do like Oblivion like a whole lot.
Oblivion to me has the side quests.
It does. See, and that's what bothers me is like it. Okay, so Skyrim was written primarily by the guy who did the Dark Brotherhood questline in Oblivion.
Really?
Yeah, so like you can see why I'm a little bit disappointed with how this turned out. Because the Dark Brotherhood questline in Oblivion is one of my favorite questlines in any video game ever. Who is fighting me? It's a wolf. Yeah. So like my thing is like I really like Oblivion. I think Morrowind is a good game, but it's kind of hard to come back to, just because it is still like it still has some leftovers from Daggerfall.
Yeah, it's still got a lot of CRPG DNA.
Yeah, and I mean it was basically written on like the very first vestiges of what would become the Gamebryo engine.
No, I think that was Gamebryo before Bethesda did any tweaking with it.
But it's something along that lines. But the point is, it was like 1.0 as hell. Hi, Ristich, how are you doing? But yeah, so like, I have some qualms with how Skyrim simplifies things. There are bits of it I like, and there are bits of it that I don't like. So like it was kind of exciting for me when they're like, yeah, we're doing like, you know, a while back they did the mod for Oblivion that lets you play all of Morrowind in Oblivion. And now they're doing a thing where it's like you can play all of Oblivion and Morrowind in Skyrim. And it's like we're bringing back some of the stuff that was cut. You know, like Hand to Hand is coming back. You know,
Hand to Hand is one of those things that got nerfed, but it's still like you can make it really fucking overpowered.
You can.
It's a little harder to do. Part of me kind of likes it. It's difficult to get hand to hand good. It's like you gotta do certain things for it. I kind of like that, but I also wish it had that.
Yeah, like I don't see entirely why it was.
You look strong.
That's taken care of.
Ayla, I just got here.
Ha! Another milk drinker crying about his effort.
Hashtag millennial
Glory
cats.
only awaits those who triumph. And as companions, our
I did my
glory must
best.
always be hard fought. An outsider, eh?
So you
You
really
ever heard
like
of the Companion?
Oblivion
An
and
order of
Morrowind?
warriors. We are brothers. and
Oblivion more
sisters
than
in honor.
Morrowind, and it's like
And we show up to solve problems
so like
with
I've
glorious
played a
goodness.
pretty good chunk of Skyrim. Like on my Steam list, I think I have like 300 or 400 hours in it. So not like, you know, a ton, but enough. Compare though, like, okay, so when I first played Oblivion, I played it on the Xbox 360. So, you know, no mods and everything like that. I played it for about 2,500 hours.
Right.
Um,
As you do with these games.
yeah. Decade says I feel kind of annoyed that I have to use mods to make hand-to-hand fun in Oblivion and Skyrim.
Not for me to
And
say.
like
You'll have to
I
talk
kind
to
of
Codlac
disagree
White
with it
up
in
Gravaska.
Oblivion. I could
The old
see it in
man's got a
Skyrim.
good sense
Like,
for people. He can look in your
uh,
eyes. And
if you
tell
get
what
Oblivion, like if you
If
get
you go
hand to hand
to
high enough in Oblivion, like
good
it's stronger than any
Train
weapon,
some more.
pretty much.
You don't need a knife when your hand is
And it's like in Skyrim, I feel like I agree with you when I said when you says like, you know, it should be a stat. Like I don't see why they got rid of the hand to hand skill.
Yeah.
And I guess it's because like they probably could not formulate enough perks to make it viable in the late game. And I have some issues with the perk system as well, but we'll get into that when we actually level up. So
That's your deal with Elder Scrolls. My deal with is I just like the series.
yeah, I mean.
I have a very uncomplicated relationship.
I mean, they showed literally nothing about Elder Scrolls 6 at E3, and my mark ass is still like, yeah, bitch, bring it on. Give me that. I need it. Inject it into my veins.
I'm curious about this. I liked Fallout 4, but not as much as any Bethesda game before it.
I feel like
it's a fine game, but it's not
Halt.
even close.
City's closed with the dragons about.
yeah, I feel like
Mission
like
business
Fallout
only.
4, so what I do when I play Fallout 4 is every time I just mod it to be like a horrific survivalist hellscape, pretty much.
Oh, same.
And like I just completely ignore the story. There's actually an alternate start mod you can download that makes it so that you don't have to it straight up redoes dialogue and stuff, so it cuts out the fact that you are not coming from the vault.
Right.
So like
Chris,
go ahead.
Christus asks if we think it's Hammerfell or elsewhere.
Probably Hammerfell.
I say High Rock.
It's probably High Rock. Thinking about it, it could be just High Rock is not terribly large. It could be a mixture of both, but I don't think it's elsewhere because it's not very.
If we get an Elder Scrolls game that has 2 provinces instead of just one, I would shit.
We got one. It's called Elder Scrolls Online.
I have played a little bit of Elder Scrolls Online. I think about I don't know how many hours. I don't feel like.
Or else what?
It's
You
not
think you
bad.
can stand against the entire White
Oh, wow,
City
that's-
Guard?
That's the first time
It's
I've
close.
failed that particular speech check.
Fine. But we'll will be keeping an eye on
It's
you.
closed.
Hey. Actually, it's not. I'm going in.
Okay, so I like Oblivion. I like Morrowind, but it's like you said, it's really hard to get into. It took me around, no lie, like 13 or 14 new games to get.
We'll
more
pay
than, like,
whatever it
3 hours
takes,
into
but we
Morrowind.
must have more swords for the Imperial
Yeah,
soldiers.
I mean, it's like I feel like a lot of Morrowind's things, like it is definitely more like intricate and customizable than Oblivion or
I'd sooner bet
Skyrim,
my need a
but you have to
Storm
put
Cloak.
up with some stuff for
Besides,
that. Like,
Greymane would never
The
be
main
skillful.
thing is,
Have it.
I went. Into
I'll
it
take the job,
expecting it to
but
be
don't
fairly
expect a
open.
miracle.
It's not at first. It's okay. Someone whose first real playthrough of Morrowind has been about 6 hours, topping out at like level 6. I don't know how open you can actually make Morrowind, but the bits I've played of it, you have to be careful where you go anywhere.
right? I mean, it definitely, like, when you get into it, it does feel more mystifying than like Oblivion and Skyrim. Just like, you know, it's all the stuff is given in you know, in directions you actually have to read, and you know.
I kind of like that system of you have to actually like
They say
get
Helgen got hit by a
directions
dragon.
and like read
One of
them,
those horror
but
spots
I'm
here.
horrible with directions.
Like I was thinking about it yesterday because I was playing a bunch of Oblivion yesterday. Like I would have liked it if a compass was like an actual item you had to like pull out and look at,
Like you had to like click on it in your inventory. And then
like hold it up to your face and look at it.
I was thinking more like those.
I just need to hire one, maybe 2 good men.
You had to look at it.
You won't
Or yeah, even if you just like had like if you had a compass, you could equip it. It would be like its own like special slot. And if you didn't have a compass equipped, then you wouldn't have the compass at the top of the screen.
Like put it in your like shield or something.
Or I mean, it was like even if it was just like something you put on your belt. And it's like,
There's no such
brigands
thing
I
as
can
belt.
handle. Just talk of dragons.
but like, well, there is in my special PC modded version of Skyrim. There's a whole lot of belts.
There's a whole bunch.
There's a, like, I get to some Liefeldian levels of
in the air.
pouches in that game.
My crops. Whatever it is.
Adrian, tell me about
Got some good
smithing.
pieces out here if you're looking to buy. More inside.
So the thing is,
Don't forget to check
bow
inside.
here
I don't claim to be the
Look,
best
doesn't-
blacksmith in
is it
Whiterun.
fair to you don't like
Yorland
it?
Greymane's got that on him. Man's steel is legendary. All I ask is a fair
accurate to
chance.
say,
I have many qualms.
Yes, actually.
qualms.
How about
I
you smith me an iron
am
dagger?
one of the
Here's
very,
everything
very
you need to
few I
make
know,
one.
which is
Go
weird
ahead.
Considering this game is sold like a million billion trillion copies, I'm one of the few people I know that has an uncomplicated,
I'll take my leave then.
unironic, I like this game attitude. It has problems, but I like it a lot. It's a very. Here's how I look at pretty much every Bethesda game. They're less traditional RPGs.
That's a
and more
decent weapon
adventure
you've made there.
simulators. I think if you look at them like that,
Have you met my
they
father?
become
He's a
a little more
steward up at
forgivable
Dragon's
about
Reach.
some of the things they do.
Not bad, but it's a little
It's a good-
dull.
For me, it's a
How
good
about
mindset
you
to
sharpen
have.
it up? Just need a
Don't
bit
you
of
ask
metal
if
and
the
the
belts are
grindstone
reflected
over
on
there.
your character model. The mod Bandolier for Skyrim lets you get like pouches, and they are all reflected on your character model.
Oh yeah, they're all equipped. You can even like. No, you can't pick their.
Looking to
slots,
protect
no.
yourself? Or deal
There's a
some
version of
damage?
it that lets you choose specific slots.
Is there?
I think it's one of the newer versions of it,
There's a newer version?
or at least the version I played. It was like, you know, it had it like it was one of the options when you installed it, is like show me the show me the slots and everything. It's like,
Oh, like during installation, like in the installer.
yeah, and it's like it's one of those things where it's like, I don't know what the fuck slot 83 means.
One of Skyrim's 200 slots for equipment.
Until next time.
Okay, I am gonna say this: the UI in Skyrim is bad.
It's not.
I
good.
help my father in more ways than people
It
think.
looks. See, it's. I can't even like quantify like why it's bad aside from it's cumbersome. I think it's just its main issue. It's cumbersome.
Oh yeah, it is very cumbersome. Yeah. Also, the thing about Bandolier is it's really good because each of the fucking belts gives you extra carry weight. So it's like,
Oh yeah.
and it's
I
like,
actually, whenever I play Skyrim like you play Fallout 4, a survival health.
Got some good.
I do
pieces out
too.
here
They,
for you to
I've been
buy.
following up with
More
the
inside. I don't claim to be
with
the best
the
blacksmith
modder
in
who
Whiterun.
does Frostfall.
Yorland Greymane's got that on.
And they're
Man
adding in
Steel
a
is
system where it's like
legendary.
food, like
All I
events
ask
can
is a
happen in the
fair
world where
chance.
food becomes more or less common, like based on events related to the Civil War. It's like, you know, the Stormcloaks go raiding and burn some fields in Imperial territory, so food in Imperial territory is less bountiful. And it's like,
I feel like we're missing
This
the
looks
point of
good.
the stream
You
by
put
talking
time
about
into
how
your
much we
blades,
love
they'll
Skyrim
serve
when
you
it's
well.
not Skyrim.
yeah,
You wanna get
okay,
a
so like,
helping? How about you make some?
but yeah,
armor?
let's talk about
Let's start by
Skyrim.
tanning some
Well,
leather and black.
Skyrim mods are very good, is the thing.
That's the thing. They're obscenely high quality.
And okay, well, we can sort of like loop back around. So the common complaint I hear, like from pretty much from Oblivion onward, is that Bethesda like making the mod tools so available is a good thing because, you know, it lets people fix the problems that the games have, but the modding community should not be expected to fix the problems that Bethesda left in the game.
I'm of two minds with that. They shouldn't be, but I understand
Don't forget to check inside
why
the shop if you
Bethesda
need
does.
anything.
I think they do leave stuff there that they can't finish because they don't have time. And they're like, well, we're gonna leave all the assets here, and someone can finish them and mod them in because we can't. We don't have the time, and we're running out of money. I want to say that's what's happening.
Got
That
some-
might be
have you
giving
met
too
my
much
father?
credit, but
He's the
these games
steward
are
up at Dragon's Reach.
fucking hard to make.
Well, yeah,
good.
but like,
a lot of weapons and
I
armor
don't
need leather for straps
entirely
fitting,
agree. I
that
think
kind of
necessarily
thing.
that, you know,
Let's
sometimes
see if
with
you
game
can make
design,
a hide helmet. Here's the
having
rest of
worked
what
in a
you
game
need.
design capacity before, you know, it's not so much that you are leaving stuff in knowingly. It's that you're leaving stuff in unknowingly because you think it's fine as it is. And it's one of those things where it's like, you know, you made it. You don't want to make a bad game. No one wants to make a bad game. And it's like, you know, so, you know, you're making this game and you put all these systems in place and you're like, yeah, I think this is good. This is what, you know, players are going to want. And then people play it and they're like, well, actually, and it's especially bad with games in a series like in Elder Scrolls. They're like, actually, I want it to be like the old games. And, you know, so they mod it and fix it. And some people consider that a fix. Some people consider that just like a thing you can do optionally. It's one of the things where like the thing I would argue about is like, you know, the like in favor of your argument is the unofficial patches. You know, that's sort of a thing where it's like, you know, QA for these games has to take a shitload of time and be immensely difficult.
Don't forget to
I
check
think,
inside the
yeah,
shop
QA
if you
for
need
these
anything.
games, especially 'cause of the engine they're
I
on,
don't claim to be the best
not only
blacksmith
is
in
they- are
Whiterun.
things
Yorland
constantly
Greymane's got
changing,
that on.
constantly updating,
Man Steel is
but they're also
legendary.
constantly breaking.
All I ask is a fair
because
chance.
like, even this modified version of Winter, it's like
Got some good pieces out here if you're looking to buy.
I can't even
More
imagine
inside.
what the mod process has to look like because like we use the same tools they did,
Right.
same engine.
Have you met my
everything.
father?
And it's a complicated thing. It's
steward
like
up at Dragon's
the thing that like that no one can really agree on is like, where does
I
Bethesda's
should hire
obligation
you
to the
be
game
my
end and where
assistant
does
at
ours
this rate.
begin?
Let's improve the fit.
will say
Take
this,
this leather to the
I think
workbench
it's
over
kind of
there.
bullshit they didn't fix any bugs for special edition.
Yeah, that is pretty weak.
Yeah. Even it. Like,
I helped my father. in
Like I
more
didn't
ways
want them to
than
fix
people realize.
every bug, but like some of the weirder ones, like misplaced objects.
You think all
and
you have talent.
bad audio.
Keep working at your craft
or,
and you'll be a
like,
fine smith one day.
quests
Yes?
breaking because I would have wanted. I wanted to see that. They should have done that. I think they should have done
Take
that.
a look.
But on the unofficial patch, I think it's best that it's there. Really.
Yeah, I mean it's
I'm not gonna say like it shouldn't be there because I think
I mean, in a game
It would
like
be
this.
it would be impossible to make a game that would not benefit from an unaffected patch.
Oh yeah, man. It's like it's a game. It's like in a game as large in scope as any game in the Elder Scrolls series from Daggerfall forward. Like you're not gonna catch everything in QA, and it's like, and even if you do, the time it would take to fix all the stuff is gonna be immense. Like it's.
You went with the loot everyone with tutorial strat.
Yeah, I did. Don't need all this crap though. Who needs shields in this game? That is one thing. Is like, okay, so the block skill in this game is neat and fine. It is significantly more important than Oblivion.
I actually disagree. I think blocking is actually pretty important, especially.
I work
when
with
you
my
get
mother.
to
Sell fruits and
most
vegetables.
more stronger
It's
enemies.
fun most.
Like I mentioned to you on Twitter, like Dragonborn. Dragonborn's enemies put up a fight.
I mostly deal with.
Well, we'll see. This game definitely does let you like be a jack of all trades a bit better. Like it's harder to do that in Oblivion and Morrowind, especially Morrowind. And like, I mean, you can eventually do everything in Morrowind, but it's gonna take forever.
Right. That brings me to one of my actual legit gripes with this game. And this is the thing that every single Elder Scrolls game has, and it sucks in every single one. Some of the skills in this just take way too fucking long to level up.
Yeah.
What would you have
Like
me do then?
smithing and
Nothing?
blocking and the armor skills.
My lord.
What's the
Not
meaning
the
of
armor
this
skills,
interruption?
those are
Jarl
fine.
Yeah, I mean,
Barbara
those
is
you-
not
Blocking,
receiving
smithing, and,
visitors.
like alchemy takes fucking forever.
Oh
It
Jesus,
is
alchemy take.
it takes obscenely long to get anywhere.
Well, that explains why the guards let you in.
All right, Lenny
Come
Manila,
on,
let me
then.
talk
The
to
Jarl will
King
want
Cool
to speak to
Guy.
you personally.
Lenny Manila, what?
So
Lenny
you were
Manila
in
voices
Helgen.
Irlith.
You saw this dragon with your own eyes?
Wait, that's
Rouge the Bat.
Bubsy.
Yeah, also Bubsy. Like, I guess. I mean, I don't keep up with Bubsy.
No, she voiced Bubsy in 3D.
Hmm.
In Bubsy 3D.
By Ismir, Irileth was
So
right.
yeah, we get
What
to
do
go
you say
do
now,
everyone's favorite
Proventus?
dungeon, Bleak
Shall
Falls
we
Barrow.
continue to trust in the strength of our walls against the dragon?
My lord, we should send troops to Riverwood at once. It's in the
But
most
yeah, like,
immediate danger. If that dragon is lurking
we're
around,
gonna get to it in a little bit because like we are gonna be going to Bleak Falls Barrow, which has a lot of combat in it.
We should
Enough. I'll not stand idly
There
by while the
is
dragon
like I don't
burns
want to
my
say that
hold
either
and
system,
slaughters my
like
people.
Oblivion's or Skyrim's,
Irileth,
has a
send
terrible
detachment
degree
to
of weight.
Riverwood at once.
Yes,
But
my
like,
If you'll excuse me,
I
I'll
feel
return
like
to my
they
duties.
made
Not with your
combat
best.
slower just across the
Well
board
done.
in
You sought
Skyrim.
me out on your own initiative. You've done Whiterun
and
a service.
That's
I
not
won't
like
forget.
anything to do with health,
Take
like
this
enemy
as a
health or anything
small
like that. It's just
token
like
of my
you know,
esteem.
each individual
There
animation
is
takes
another thing you
more
could do
time.
for me. Suitable for someone of your particular
Oh my god!
talents.
Please speak
perhaps.
faster.
Come, let's go find Farengar, my court wizard. He's been looking into a matter related to these dragons and rumors of dragons.
But yeah, like enchanting is another one that takes forever.
Promised me a new dress days ago.
Did I lose you? You still here? Uh-oh.
Hello?
Hello.
Okay, my headset came unplugged because I tried to walk to my window to close it, and
It came unplugged.
It's so tangled right now.
Oh,
It's
see-
horrible.
See, a while back my headset dropped off my desk and broke, so I had to buy a new one. And this new one has a cable that is about 2 feet long. It feels terrible.
Shit. You were talking about how slow combat is, and I agree. They did say it slowed it down a lot for this one.
And like in some cases, it's not necessarily a bad thing because like in Oblivion, like shit could pop off
Farengar,
real quick.
I think I found someone who can help
And
you with your
like
dragon
when it
project.
pops off, it
Go
really
ahead,
pops
fill
off.
him in with all the details.
So the Jarl thinks you can be of use to me.
So like having a little more
yes, you
time
must be
to
referring
think
to my
is good.
research into the dragons.
It
Yes,
just does mean
I
that
could
like
use someone to fetch
sometimes
something
you.
for me. Well, when I say
It's sort of like the
fetch,
problem
I really
in
mean delve into a
in some
dangerous
fighting
ruin
games
in
where
search
like
of an ancient stone
you know faster
tablet that
characters
may
just
or may
dominate.
not actually be there.
Right.
It's one of those things where it's like I've got this big fuck off hammer and it will kill things very effectively, but it takes 30,000 years to swing it.
It takes 15 frames, and that is just too long.
Mm-hmm.
Straight to the point, eh? No need for tedious
I've
hows and
done this
whys.
1,000
I like
times,
it.
Farandar. Just
Leave
tell me what to
I,
do.
Go to Bleak Falls Barrow,
Where's the
find
first
this tablet,
dungeon?
no doubt interred in the main
I
chamber,
didn't get
and
the
bring it
quest
to me.
for it.
Simplicity itself. Off
This
to
is a
Bleak Falls
priority.
Barrow with you. The Jarl is
I
not a
don't.
patient
Oh,
man.
hold on.
Neither am
Do
I.
I have
You
something I
think
can
of it.
disenchant?
Quickly. Before it's too late.
Of course, Jarl Balgroof. You seem to have found me an
So
able
what were we
assistant.
talking about?
I'm sure he
how
will
long
prove
skills take?
most useful.
Yeah, still take a
Succeed
while.
at this, and you'll be rewarded.
Yeah, that's
Wide
the thing with
ropes.
every single one.
You'll be good at.
There's always a minimum of like 3 skills that are a pain in the ass to get leveled. For Skyrim, it's log and enchanting. Or smithing. I've actually never tried enchanting.
Okay, so hey, guess what? It's time to level up.
It's time to level up, and it's time to talk about Skyrim's wonderful perk system.
Oh boy, let me tell you about the perk system. Okay, so first thing, like
Before he goes in my opinion out, it's underwhelming, but I think it's fine. I wouldn't say it's great. It's functional. There's enough variety and enough stuff you can unlock that I don't feel bored by it. But I would have preferred something more in depth.
okay, well, let's. I'm going to compare this to Oblivion again. So you know, in Oblivion, when you level a skill up to like 25, 50, 75, 100, you get like some minor perk, like in a like when you level up acrobatics to a certain point, you can start jumping higher and you can attack while you're falling and stuff like that. In this game, there is nothing like that in when you get to those ranks because it's handled by perks.
Right.
So, say I'm much farther on. I'm at level like 45, which is a pretty high level. So like you would have a lot of perks by then, so you get one every level. But like say I'm just now trying to get like restoration leveled up, which I mean we're gonna be doing that anyway. But like for the like say I get to 25, but I'm so invested in our stuff, like I have a bunch of other options for other stuff that I want to level up first. Like so I'm getting I get the 25 restoration, that gets me to a level, and I don't get the thing that lets me cast apprentice level restoration spells for half magicka. Because I spent that perk point on something else. So that means I get no benefit for ranking that up to that certain point until like it's delayed. And it's like there is a mod for this game because they make everything better. And what it does is it changes the perks a little bit so that certain perks are automatic. Like you just get them at that. You get like stuff like apprentice restoration, adept restoration, all that is automatic. So when you reach that skill level, you get that perk.
Right.
To balance this, it encourages you to install the community capper and make it so you get a perk every second level instead of every level. And so like for like one of the most like prevalent examples is in the archery tree in that mod.
The one that lets you do that.
Well, I mean that, but like, thank you for the follow, Commander Root. Thanks for coming and hanging out with us. But like in the archery tree in that mod, there like one of the first things you can get is a thing that makes it so that if you have no arrows on hand, you will draw from your magicka pool and create a spectral arrow. Ooh. And it's like all the perks that you have to like actually invest perk points in are cool stuff like that.
Right.
And it's like that's what I kind of prefer from this sort of thing, where like it makes it so that when you're going down a tree, it's like, well, do I want to get this neat thing? Like that makes it so that like protection spells are way better. That helps me sort of differentiate within that tree, or do I want to get like the the thing that just makes it so I cast better? And
I do agree. I prefer when there's a system like this that when you level up a skill or invest in it, that gives you a new mechanic to use.
Right.
A new ability rather than a stat buff. I do agree. That's 100 times better.
Yeah. So so I play with that mod every single time I play Skyrim on PC. But it requires extensive scripting, so obviously it does not work on PS4.
Stay out of trouble.
For me, I use a mod called Coordinator, which just overhauls the perks.
I work with my mother. Sell fruits and
And
vegetables.
it makes stuff like speech way easier to use.
I spend a lot of time at the market stall
Better
so I can
because
learn
it
the
also
merchant's
gives
trade.
you plus to your shouts.
Yeah, that's the same thing with the mod I'm talking about. Is it has things where it's like you shout better, and like because you're like one of the things is like you talk so fucking much, your lung capacity gets better, so you can sprint twice as long, and it's like
That's really great.
and it's like stuff like that, where it gives you tangible, appreciable benefits for leveling up a thing. And it's like so now I can get all this cool stuff, and I can specialize if I want to, or still go jack of all trades like in base Skyrim. But now there's like I don't have to worry about like kneecapping myself in the later levels because I didn't take this perk now, and I gotta take another few levels getting the perks that matter. And so like in Oblivion, like obviously there were no perks. There was just the benefits you would get at 25, 50, 75, and 100.
What? Were perk systems like a thing in single player games in 2011? Or was Skyrim kind of like the forebearer of that?
Well, I suppose
Like,
if you wanted to,
they were big in like multiplayer.
well, I suppose if you wanted to get technical, Fallout 3
Fallout 3 had perks.
had perks.
But that
and-
was a Fallout thing.
Yeah, so like as far as like outside of Fallout, where like perks are like the cornerstone of that particular role playing system.
I can't think of anything else.
It was a new thing, to be fair. Ristates, I'll have to get the name of the mod for you. It's like Skyrim perk enhancement rebalance something or other. It's a very unpleasant acronym for an otherwise fantastic mod.
In the meantime, you could try out a mod called More Interesting Loot, which provides new loot in the game, including rings that enchant your arrows with magic. You use a little bit of your magic pool to give your arrows a fire enchantment or something, like per arrow.
But yeah,
I think there are straight up spells for that too, from that mod.
and it's one of those things where like they added in a thing where now when you take a thing to 100, you can choose to reset it.
Legendary.
Yeah.
Which means this game could technically be endless.
Yes, and although you like Skyrim, would you want to play it past level 80?
That depends on how many expansion size mods I have. And if I want to get around to them.
God might get nervous.
And approaches
A man
with his
approaches
weapon
with
drawn.
his
I
weapon
can go where I please. I'm the chosen one.
You are.
So do you remember? Okay, so the unofficial Skyrim patch. Okay, so the first dragon you fight is Mirlana or Mirmilnir or something like that.
And one of those things go.
Yeah. So there was an unvoiced line, right? And
I think I know that actually.
so the guy who took over the unofficial Skyrim patch was the guy who made Open Cities and stuff like that.
Oh, really?
And you remember when Open Cities did that thing where it's like, oh, now there's Oblivion gates everywhere because he's the guy who likes to put a whole bunch of stuff in there that doesn't matter. And it's just
Reasoning for that. I loved it because I could see where it was coming from, but I also was like, why?
This game also takes place, what, like 100 years after Oblivion?
200 years after the Oblivion crisis.
You would definitely think they would have taken the time to fucking clear those Oblivion gates off.
His reasoning was equating them to war memorials. Like, you wouldn't tear down a memorial to a war that happened, would you?
I would clean away the wreckage of a terrorist attack. I mean, I'm just saying.
I would keep like one of
And
them
plus,
around.
you know that rock has to be some sort of weird, cool Daedra rock that they could use on all sorts of cool stuff.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like, a wizard would be like, give me that rock shit. I need it on my body. Okay.
But yeah, it's one of those things where it's like, but yeah, he got control of the unofficial Skyrim patch because Quarantine did not want to like keep up with it anymore because they have lives, and so like one of the things he added in just as a finger quotes fix was a community voice actor voicing that one particular line through the shittiest quality mic. And so like it is like you kill him and he's like, Dovahkiin, no, and this guy with his crappy might just be like, Dovahkiin, no. It's just like, it's one of those things where enough people know. No, it wasn't. It wasn't. Really. And so like one of the
that must not have noticed the filter on that line.
one of the things is like that ended up coming about from that is that like another modder hated that line so much that they made a mod that attaches to the unofficial Skyrim patch just to cut that out.
Maybe he got a different actor for it.
Maybe just I think they might have cleaned it up is the thing, because like when that mod first came out, that line was in the shittiest possible quality. Oh god, if I like, I'm thinking about like if I was playing this game with Frostfall, I would be like dying right now because I'm up in the mountains with just armor on.
I can't play Frostfall like 1 point at a time. I haven't said that like because even like checked out in the warmest clothes I can possibly get with mods, I can spend time, not even in a blizzard, in the snow for 5 minutes. And then I start dying.
Yeah, you definitely need to tweak Frostfall.
Yeah, I put that. We're coming up on the. I like the combat game.
I appreciate that. It has like actual punctuation to each of the movements, but like it feels exaggerated.
This is the weird opinion among weird Skyrim opinions in terms of like the game. I love it. I actually think it works really well because here's the thing. Every Bethesda game until Fallout 4 has bad combat. Every single one.
Oh yeah.
Skyrim is the pinnacle of...
Is the point just before they decided to fix it.
It's the best it got before they literally brought in software onto the team to fix the combat.
So that's kind of why I'm excited what Elder Scrolls 6 is gonna look like. Because we live in a post-Dark Souls world now.
Yeah. I think this combat, it's very hack and slashy, like old school hack and slashy.
Oh, definitely.
I think that really works for this game, honestly.
Oh, I mean, it's like, it's one of those things where, like, in a game like this, where, encounters can happen at any time, you don't want something where, like, every single fucking thing is, like, super deliberate and everything like that, where it's like, you want sort of a hack and slashy feel, because otherwise, shit gets real at every single turn, and it's like, well, that kind of diminishes the amount of power you have. I'm just gets too easy, I'll bump it up.
I play on next one. That's the sweet spot.
Yeah, some people were like, play it on master. It's like, I hate that. I just see. Oh Jesus, it's so fucking dark in here. So I installed a mod that's like, we're gonna take all the phantom light sources and get rid of them.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
And it turns out that like, wow, this game is really fucking dark without that.
Yeah, it's kind. You put yourself at a disadvantage by playing with that mod on PS4 because you can't get the complementary mods that add more capable like lights to yourself, like lanterns and bigger torches and candlelight stuff.
So yeah, one of the things like what I should have done before I left is like I should have checked and seen if he had the candlelight spell.
That would have helped.
So like, you know, it's a little thing like that.
By the way, this is my first time actually seeing Special Edition in action. This actually looks pretty good.
It looks all right. It's one of those things where like I think it's one of those things where like people who like are critical of Special Edition's appearance were critical of it on PC, where you can fucking see all of the pixel boxes with your naked eye because it's right up in your face.
Right.
And it's like
I'm looking at this like about the same distance I would for normal classic Skyrim.
Yeah, it's like
this looks pretty good actually.
Yeah, it's a good looking game when you can see it in this fucking pitch blackness that this mod has created for us.
Speaking of, yeah, the lighting mod.
I cannot remember the name of it. That's PC.
Enhanced lighting.
Enhanced lighting and effects. That's what it is.
I use a mod which further goes out of its way to turn off every single light source in a dungeon, depending on how populated it is. That's who's populating it. So, like, if it's a cave full of bandits, there's gonna be a lot of lights. But if it's a mostly uninhabited, like, Draugr dungeon, then there's gonna be almost no lighting whatsoever.
You know what? My brightness is at half. Let's fix that.
Oh my god! You can quick save from the menu. I forgot they added that.
You know what? Actually, that's too much.
Oh, good lord. I just saw the slider go down. Oh, and I saw it before my very eyes.
Where it seemed as though the light, where the very sun itself had been sucked from the sky. Let's see. Hey, so puzzles in Skyrim, how do you feel about them?
Some of them are decent. None of them are brain ticklers, but they do kind of get your understanding of the mechanics and stuff. Most of them are shit like this.
How much do you like the Dragon Claw puzzles?
I liked them at first because it's like, oh, I actually have to look at the item and like match it up. I still think that's novel, but after 1,100, 1,300 hours of this game, I'm kind of sick of them.
It's one of those things where like I don't expect every fucking puzzle to be like a Rubik's Cube or something, you know.
It helps that for Skyrim they had like 5 people working on the dungeons rather than 1.
Actually, like I think most of Oblivion stuff was actually procedural. I leveled up again. Let's kill these skeevers.
It's a bit of both. One guy like was hand making dungeons, and then I think some of them were procedural.
I think also a thing to note is that like the dungeon design differs greatly from Oblivion and Skyrim. Primarily, like the most common complaint level that Skyrim is that all the dungeons are either Q-shaped or a straight line. And so, like, you know, you'll sort of get these dungeons where you'll go through them, and then you'll find, like, once you've gone through them, you get to the end, you pull a lever, and it's like, surprise, there's a hidden passage that leads you back to the start.
I prefer that over like a new exit or something. I like that, but cube-shaped straight line.
not cube shaped, Q, like the letter Q.
Q shape. Okay, I see. No, yeah, that's actually perfectly fine. I don't have any problem with that at all.
Well, see, that's sort of the thing. Is like I prefer a little bit more branching. Not quite to the extent that Morrowind had it, because like in Morrowind, you can get fucking lost in places, and it would be, and like you can still sort of get lost in places in Oblivion, but usually, you know, the map is good enough that you can find your way back. Daggerfall. Have you ever played Daggerfall?
I have played about 2 hours of Arena.
And that's two hours too many.
I don't know, but Daggerfall I have not played.
Okay, so the thing about Daggerfall,
isn't that the one with completely random dungeons?
yes, and as a result, they can be a bit labyrinthine. And by a bit labyrinthine, I mean like each dungeon is about the size of like all the dungeons in Skyrim put together. Like they're.
Have you ever found the labyrinthium in this game?
I haven't. Is that part of an expansion?
No, that's part of the base game. It's one of the pivotal like plot areas of Arena. I didn't find that until like.
I'll have to be on the lookout for that then.
Play through like 11 or 12. It's hidden.
Let's see, what can I get? Let's do some one-handed skills.
Yeah.
We're especially gonna need that because like we're especially gonna need that because like the spider coming up, I remember kicks my ass like every time.
Don't let it get me! Get it away from me! Get it away! Get it away!
Oh, the sound design.
They're on par for me with Dark Souls 1.
Get out of here!
Nailed her.
You! Over here! You did it. You killed it. Now cut me down before anything else shows up.
Okay, let's see if I can like cut Arvel down and kill him in one fell swoop.
Yes, the claw. I know how it works. The claw, the markings, the door in the hall of
I mean,
stories.
I
know
usually
how they
do,
all
is
fit
the
together.
thing.
Help me down and I'll show you. You won't believe the power the Nords have hidden there.
Just use that.
Sweet breath of Arcade, thank you.
Let's see. Do I have a warhammer? I don't. I didn't pick it up.
Pick one up.
What I do have is a steel sword though, and all the steel war axe does more damage. Axes are cooler anyway.
It's coming loose. I can feel it.
How do you feel about the what's the term I'm looking for? The decrease in variety in different weapons as the series went on.
Okay, so like, I'm of two minds about it, because a lot of people, when they talk about the weapon variety decrease, they usually tend to cite Morrowind as the primary example. You know, with spears and weapons, you know, skills for axes and blunt weapons and everything like that. So like,
not really skills. I'm talking about like pure like actual weapons.
Actual what? Okay, so like, I would prefer there to be more variety in weapons, but I also recognize that that takes a lot more work. Like, basically, right now as it is, we have axes, we got maces, and we got swords, and then we got two varieties of each. That's small and big, and like that's still, I mean, you know, pretty.
It's a lot to work with.
It's still it's a lot to work with, and like, you know, in Morrowind you don't see too much more than that. Like, you know, you got you got spears on top of that. Crossbow. Well, crossbows are in the game, I know that much.
Yeah, they're done.
But you know, in Morrowind, they had their own skill. So there's marksman, I think, in this.
No, they fell under marksman. Also,
Yeah.
also throwing knives like ninja stars and shit.
That is true. I forgot about throwing knives. So I mean,
Yeah,
you had
there's
a little bit
lot.
more to work with.
Yeah. But
And
aside from that, you had about as much as you have here. And the Oblivion was the same way, except you had 2 flavors of sword.
yeah, and it's like when you get right down to it, it's just, do you want faster sword or do you want more damaging sword? And I mean, you sort of still have that here, but it's like, do you want faster sword or do you want more damage? I do appreciate that in this game, you know, they make it so that there is a little bit more differentiation between, like, you know, axes, maces, and swords. Like, you know, axes are a little bit like maces are very slow and do more damage. Swords are faster but do less damage, and axes are somewhere in between. And that's neat to me. I like that.
Oh yeah, Kistic, in Morrowind you had like ninja stars, throwing knives, stuff like that, and they didn't work too well. I'll be real with you, they didn't work too well. Morrowind's dodgy physics made them kind of shitty to use. Plus the fact that in Morrowind's combat system with dice rolls, they're very
So, enemy variety in these games.
About on par with. Actually, no. Oblivion did have a little. Oblivion had a lot more.
A lot more enemies.
But most of that was.
Well, to be fair though, in universe, Daedra are very varied. You got Vampires, you got Scamps, you got actual Dremora, you got all sorts of you got Daedra.
You are right. I do because even the enemy variety in this game is pretty down from the last 2. A lot of bandits. Mostly wildlife.
Okay, we got that. Let's see. Or actually, damn, I forgot because they have sprinting and sneaking in this game. You can't have them both on the same thing. So it's probably for the best that let's change a few. Just like the way it is right now is L1 is sprint. That's probably fine. Actually, thinking about it, 'cause like sneaking is the stick. You know, so like you can't click the stick to sprint and also have it be click to stick to crouch. Yeah, so like I'm keeping like
on like FPS controls.
Yeah, so
I like them a very specific way.
Yeah, so like crouching is on the stick right now and sprinting is on L1. So that's fine.
Here's the big thing. What do you think of this game's aesthetic between like Morrowind's exotic weirdness and like Nordic?
Well, I don't think you really see a lot of the like exoticism you see in Morrowind until I've seen some videos of Dragonborn. And, you know, you get to Soul's Time, and it's more like it's sort of like a conglomeration of Morrowind and more. Oh shit, I'm gonna die.
Skyrim has a lot of shades of it because it brought back Dwemer, and it had a lot of very interesting like shapes and designs in a lot of areas. It's understated compared to Morrowind, but Skyrim definitely tried to bring that back somewhat and step away from Oblivion's medieval focus.
That is true. I mean, in Oblivion, you did have the Aliens, and it was like they had their sort of like weird, almost Grecian appearance.
Yeah.
But yeah, I can sort of see where you're coming from. Like, there's hints of Morrowind in this game.
You also have stuff like Nordic strongholds, stuff like that. Every town has a very distinct appearance. So, like in Oblivion, different aesthetics in towns. Like, Leowin and Bruma had the same aesthetic. Shaden Hall and the other end of the map from Shaden Hall, I forget the name.
If you're talking about Anvil, I would disagree.
Not Anvil, that's the south. I like Anvil a lot.
Like Bruma in the north had a more Nordic ancestor, more Nordic aesthetic because it was close to Skyrim.
Really, it had mostly a lot of straw houses, straw and wood.
I guess it's really just a matter.
Building for underground, though.
It's just really a matter of like, I guess it's a question of like how much is limitations and how much is just they didn't really design too much different.
But with Skyrim, every city has its own unique aesthetic. While the villages pretty much all have the same aesthetic.
I think that also does come at the expense of individual cities being a lot like smaller. Like to be fair, like if you take
they're about the same size as Oblivion and Skyrim.
They're usually on average about 4 to 5 buildings short. Like I'm obviously not counting like the Imperial City because it's it's the capital.
Right.
But like if we're like let's compare it because recently I was in Shaden Hall. Let's compare Shaden Hall to say Morthal. Or not Morthal. Is Morthal the one over in the west? Markarth.
Right.
It's like Shaden Hall. Shaden Hall's got a castle in it because it has a count.
Right.
And like, I think there were homes for each and every individual person that lives in Shaden Hall. A few competing shops that actually there's actually overlap in shops. And everything like that. Or actually, let's compare like the big one. So Whiterun, right? Nazim lives there, right?
Right.
Can you tell me where his house is?
In the Wind District.
Is it?
It is.
We're talking about rich person like making things loud because they're off Nazim, right?
He lives somewhere in there. But I also couldn't tell you anywhere who the fuck lives in Shaden Hall.
That's because everyone has fucking fancy as hell names in Shaden Hall. So it's like
I could not tell you where anyone lives in Oblivion.
Yeah, it's the same here because like I don't remember half the people in Skyrim, but like I saw a video someone brought up the other day where they went through Whiterun. Nazim actually doesn't have a house.
Nazim doesn't have a house?
He does not have a house. So he lives in the trash garbage where he belongs.
Okay, I need you to stalk Nazim when you get back to Whiterun.
He just vanishes in the midair.
He climbs That's a weird thing that I feel like they don't acknowledge enough in Skyrim, is that every city has a steward. Think of for Oblivion too, actually.
That's I forgot they put a fucking rest of the Hey, I'm about to be level 4.
We might get there. I don't know if it's my mod setup or what. I don't level up this fast ever in a Skyrim now. I level up like once I'm in game day.
Just trade all my magicka health. The lot picking minigame was way better in Oblivion.
I disagree wholeheartedly. I absolutely do not share that opinion. I do not like Oblivion at all. I've heard some people don't like Fallout 3 and Skyrim's method. It's 100% better than that.
Well, then that's gonna be the crux of our argument for the next 3 hours. Is whether the lot picking is good.
We can argue about if the combat is good, if the inventory, the leveling system is good, any of that. No, it all comes down to how we like to pick our locks. And I like twisty turny, while you like bop.
Do we twist or do we bop? Hey, Decade, are you thinking of the mod I'm thinking of? Where someone turned the lot for Skyrim into a very realistic vagina? Because the Nexus is a fucking hell site?
Wait, what about a... Wait, hold on. No, back up. Wait, what about vaginas?
Okay, so someone on the Nexus, being the demons that they are, was like, well, I can't jerk it to lot picking, so they fucking made... It was still, you know, like someone's lot, but it had like a photo of a lady bent over. Or, yeah, it was a butt. But like...
Hold on. Hold on.
Trust me, it exists.
No, hold on. Give me Skyrim vagina lockpick. Alright, let's see what Google gives me. Oh, let's see. HDT real vagina. Skyrim mod fucker right in the pussy bro. Hentai King lock alternative. Skyrim adult mod. Mod Anarchy Gaming Mod Skyrim Pussy Lockpick mod. Pussy Pack.
Okay.
All caps, the Skyrim Steam Workshop Pussy Pack. Archive of our own work. Eric the Pussy Slayer, Chapter 11.
Excuse me? I did, but I don't want to acknowledge it. Like,
your stream, I think, might be frozen on your stats. Or no, never mind. You were just sitting there for a really long time. Since I don't have any audio coming through from the stream, I have no idea what anything is happening.
it could just be drop frames. But like right now, I'm about to get to the puzzle.
No, are you about to get to the hardest puzzle Todd himself designed?
Todd Howard's mystery puzzle.
I spent all day on it.
Todd Howard's sequel to Myst, The Elder Scrolls V Skyrim.
Oh man, I would actually like to see a remake of Myst in Skyrim.
Okay,
like
so
made.
bear, butterfly, owl.
Todd Howard comes in with a phone book-sized design document in his hand. All right, guys, I got a whammy on me this time. Bear, bird, butterfly. Put them together.
Everyone's just like, congratulations, Todd, on your Game of the Year award. For instance, I'm using a mod that removes a bunch of the phantom light sources that are present in the game. And while those phantom light sources do make it easier to see, they are obviously fake light sources. So, like, the lighting is cooler because, like, the only things that are giving off any light are actual real-ass light sources, like fire and candles and stuff like that.
You don't get any fake space fire with this one. Put that, slap that on the back of Skyrim Super Special Edition. No more fake fire.
Skyrim Very Special Edition.
If you light a match and put it to the device, then Alexa becomes the fire, illuminating it.
I only just now realized that I'm at 300 carry weight. This is gonna get bad. See? I mean, I can still move, is the thing.
For now. And then you gotta pick up the stone slab.
And I'm gonna have problems. So, also, hey, I think the Ring of Burden in Oblivion was a very good joke. It's like, here's this mage in this well that has this ring that weighs 150 pounds.
That's the thing that's missing from really both this game and Morrowind, is that there's not a lot of comedic elements going on. They're very, very serious. Well, actually, I don't know.
Well, I mean, Morrowind is pretty funny.
Yeah, this game. I can think of examples at least, but.
Alright, because it's a quest item. It's like, actually, it weighs nothing.
Oh yeah, that's right. I always forget that weird stipulation of quest items.
Alright, what in my inventory sucks? Answer a lot of it. Let's see.
So, are you going to be doing any role playing for this playthrough? Like, are you going to try to build a character?
I'm going to figure something out.
That's about how I do. I have a vague idea for my character, and then as I play it, sort of figure it out.
I usually tend to specialize more on the PC version. But yeah, this is sort of like what I'm talking about when I talk about the dungeons being sort of a straight line. Is like, you know, there's a few extra little like paths you can go down to like get treasure or stuff, but the critical path is pretty much a straight line.
I would far and away rather dungeon be linear than a fucking labyrinth every time. Far and away, I prefer it to be linear.
I think there's room for both.
There should be both, but if I'm gonna have one take up most of the dungeon space, I want it.
They should never have removed spellcrafting.
I don't disagree, but I also never used it in Morrowind or Oblivion.
Because Dad brings up is like Mace Mage is a little bit more human in that they are also capable of making very dumb mistakes.
I wish I too could make dumb mistakes.
It's like, I'm gonna make this spell that makes me jump real good. How good? Lethally good.
How high can you jump?
I can jump. My jumping is yes. And so is my dying.
Jumping equals very yes.
Jumping is yes. Shins are no. It's a little thing, but like,
It's really nice, actually.
yeah, it's very good volumetric fog. Like, it's a little thing, but I wish I could keep my weapon drawn in the water. Because slaughterfish are still a thing, and they are terrible because you can't really fight them.
Yeah, that was always a weird thing in Oblivion. I mean, Skyrim. Never quite got it.
Especially because, like, when you're on land where slaughterfish cannot hurt you.
Unless they somehow get onto land.
It's like, you know, in that particular circumstance, like, you know, fucking, they prevent you from fast traveling, which is not a big deal for me because I don't normally fast travel all that much, but like, man, I can't.
Well, fire can't exist. I have this theory about fire in the Elder Scrolls series, or magic in general, that they've never really gone into detail about like how normal people use it and how it interacts with the natural world. I think that like magic fire and magic lightning works entirely different from natural fire and lightning.
Yeah. Like, I know they make that a thing in Frost, like in the Frostfall mod. They're like, you can't use magical fire to heal yourself. Hi. Warm yourself, rather. So, like, you know, you could be out in the woods, and like you can't use magic fire to make yourself warm.
You've never been able to like burn down a house by casting a spell.
Yeah.
And I know that's a purely limitational thing, but I want to say that I'm gonna say that's canon. You can't do that for real. But like a real fire would do that. And my theory is
I can achieve Kim and fucking delete a house, and it will fuck with the game so hard it breaks.
I can will the house away. How about that?
I did click on it to find out its true name and use that true name to delete it. And Decade, we're talking about this right now. We're talking about how magic fire doesn't work the same way.
Yeah, it can't do water. Like a real fire, maybe.
Generate health and stamina more quickly. Don't care. I think the stone we want to find is the Lover Stone.
I always did the Speed Stone. Especially if I'm in a heavy armor build.
Does that just move faster, or?
It gives you like 50 extra weight for free, and also gives you the perk where armor doesn't weigh you down anymore.
Okay, well, you know how the first three find the mage, the warrior, and the thief?
Make your skills go up.
Yeah, well, it makes them 20% faster. The Lover makes all three varieties go up 10% faster.
Oh.
So, and also you can kiss people to paralyze them.
It's pretty powerful. I mean, I do that every day.
But yeah, it's like
Kind of leave that one on the table.
It's one of those things where like I always get that one just because like Jack of all trades is very good in this game.
Jack of all trades is pretty good. I do a lot of specializations, but yeah, you're not wrong. What's the mill with like the vampires?
Maybe. We won't be able to tell right now because it's daytime.
Yeah, it is because of course the vampires named their mill Half Moon Mill.
Oh right, yeah, I forgot subtlety is a myth.
It was either vampires or werewolves. I'm pretty sure it's vampires. It's so weird, by the way, watching you wait. Because I can't do that. If I do that, I might die.
Oh, like waiting.
Because like I got my starvation and
I'm
mindful of the elements.
Yeah, like I'm really glad that those things require fucking the mod configuration menu. Because like if you couldn't tweak those, can you imagine? It would be horrible. Okay, so I added a mod that makes it so that there's no clouds on the world map, so you can actually see shit. Just like I appreciate this style of map, but I wish it were like Oblivion's map.
There are paper map mods for Skyrim, of course there are. The problem is they don't work.
Yeah, like, because I know, like the way this map works is it basically is calling from the LOD models.
Okay, here's the thing. Those map models work until a certain point where they stop.
And it's like, I also know that like when you try to move the map around, the markers don't move at the same speed as the map because the map is a flat image, but the markers were made for the 3D map.
Actually, the mod I used, like, it overlaid a map texture over the, like, map model.
Mm-hmm.
So like, it was still, like, the same geometry and everything, just a different texture. And that also broke. Like, it worked perfectly good for, like, 3 hours, and then...
Got something to say?
For no reason. I have no idea why.
The map mod I always use on PC is the one that just adds the roads to the map.
Yeah, that's a weird omission, Todd.
Like, cause like, okay, so I've been playing Oblivion, like I said, and so even the baseline map without mods shows you the main roads. It doesn't show you like any of the branch roads, but it just shows you the main roads. And like, that is important when you're looking at a map.
Yeah, kinda.
Need something?
Just like you can look at a road and be like, all right, if I just go straight in this direction, it will take me to this point. And it's like, and this is like, hey, there's grass over there. And I'm like, thanks, Todd. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Todd. This was everything I ever wanted in my life. I'll buy your map 5 times.
It's like,
I've actually never bought Skyrim once. It was a Christmas gift. So I own it.
So you're a Todd trader?
I'm a Todd trader. I have a physical copy, but I did not buy it.
This is actually the only physical copy of Skyrim I own. I wish.
I repeatedly considered buying a special edition on PS4 because we have a PS4 and it goes to like $20, but I have it on the computer and I don't really know if I want to play it on PS4. The only reason I would buy it is because my sister really likes Skyrim, and
you try.
She does.
Sometimes I miss the soldier's life, but when I hold my daughter in my arms, my Sapphire doesn't like that he fed his entire family with the gold I tracked it to. I don't know why I'm saying this, but if you find it out in your travels, I'd be grateful to you.
Oh, is it?
Skyrim, big cloud, that sword.
Oh yeah, well, I have heard these lines 1,000 times.
If you find that sword, please bring it to me.
But I didn't realize I was coming through the microphone, so.
That can
I'm here to buy food. I work with my mother.
Burn Village. Don't mind if I do. Let's see.
Are we allowed to talk about fag and dick on Twitch?
I don't have this channel marked for mature audiences, but we've already talked about vagina mods. So all I'm saying is maybe I should be reconsidering my policy about that. I want to go do enchanting stuff, but I know as soon as I go back there, they'll be like, "Oh my God, a dragon!"
Did you spare a coin?
So hello to all the children out there. Today we're going to be talking about Alduin's It's a shame, isn't it?
Welcome to Fur Affinity, the stream.
And how it's also the World Eater.
You tried mercenary
If you know what I mean.
We're talking about Conmore tonight.
Let's not.
Oh, anal vor?
Let's not talk about vor.
Okay, well, do you just prefer anal? Okay, I'm gonna stop.
I'm just slowly like receding into my chair, just like.
Well,
You see,
We'll see you're better
the
than me,
terminology is
reply.
clearly First Era or even earlier.
If
I'm
someone had done
convinced
that
this is
to
a
me, I
copy of
would
a
have
much
said
older
that.
text.
I would have answered
Perhaps
each of
dating
those.
to just after the dragon.
Cold damage. I don't want to
If so, I
disenchant
could
the
use
hauling
this to
boots. That's
cross-reference the
pretty
names
good.
with other later texts.
Pretty good stuff.
Good. I'm glad
Once we
you're
get
making progress.
once we get like
My employers are
steel
anxious
boots,
to have some
that'd be-
tangible
I want to get
answers.
banded iron armor because like
Oh, have no
it looks
fear.
cooler than steel
The
armor.
Lord himself has
It really
guided
does.
me.
It looks
So I'm now able to devote most of my time.
Doesn't protect nearly as much, but
Time's
you know.
running, Farengar, don't forget.
Yonky.
This
Is there
isn't some
somebody out
theoretical
there?
question. Dragons have come back.
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
go
don't
see him.
worry.
Okay, let's see. Trying to think, just like how hard will this fight be against this dragon? I know he's not normally that hard, but like sometimes this game can be deceptive with its difficulty.
A little bit.
So I just got around to looking at the water.
Oh yeah, it's beautiful. Just beautiful water textures. It is actually nice looking water. I'll give
It actually does look like a pretty good water.
So it was as good as Super Mario Sunshine on the GameCube.
Is anything?
While you have ascended from the dung of mortality.
What is R1? Why is R1 not doing anything? Let's see.
Probably showers.
Probably. Yeah, it's shouts and powers. Now I know.
Press R1 to yell at your neighbor.
Mod that changes all the
That's
shouts,
good
just
armor you got
variations
now,
of
friend.
fuck you.
I am sorry.
I work with my mother. Sell fruits and vegetables.
You tap
Come
it,
on,
it's like,
Moses.
yep, fuck!
It's the shout for emit force or whatever is the full shout is fuck off and die.
Got some good pieces out there.
It's- so you just be like fuck off or fuck off and die.
Fuck off and die!
I don't claim to be the best blacksmith in Whiterun. Yorland Greymane's got that on him. Man Steel is a legend.
All I ask is a fair
All
chance
I
to stand
ask is
against
a
the
fair
god of smithing, Yorland Greymane. He's so good at smithing.
Have you met my father?
I must remind
Oh,
you
he's
that
a steward
Yorland
at the Dragon's
Greymane
Reach.
is very good at smithing.
Listen, have you seen
The
his
finest
Grey Mane?
weapons
It's
and armor.
majestic.
That day says unrelenting force becomes fuck you, Baltimore. Okay, so
And it's badly stretched to match the time.
okay, so
I can make that right now, actually.
oh, I actually have to make.
Don't forget to check inside the shop if you need
Do I
it.
want to commit to making this right now? I do. I might go dark for a little bit.
If
I know
Moody
that
just
happens.
disappears, if she's putting fuck you, Baltimore, in Skyrim. just casually opening the creation kit.
Oh, I'm not gonna go that far.
Rissa
I'm
says
not that
master. Rissa says master destruction challenge. Pissing now only costs half magicka. God, Big Bill Hells is so good.
So very good.
Okay, so a thing I liked about alchemy in this game is that you don't have to carry around your alchemy stuff, which is pretty heavy in Oblivion.
It's very good.
Like I wish there were like, I almost wish there were like upgradable crafting stations that you could get in your house. Like around town, you could just find the basic shit, but like in your houses, you could get like, here's the normal one that you find everywhere else. Then you can add a calcinator or add a retort and everything like that. It makes your potions better, and thus makes leveling up alchemy easier. Because if I remember right, the thing that levels up alchemy the fastest is making really strong potions.
Right, the stronger the potion, like the more effects it has. Almost challenge fissing. That's right, challenge fissing.
You can piss straight 6 feet in the air straight up and not get wet. You get no down payment. Just hear it very quietly in the background, just very muffled. Just like, I hope that came through just loud enough on stream to be heard. Oh jeez, and it's that very good, like, you know, late 80s, like a little bit too bassy quality to it. Okay. Okay, so I'm gonna go get a pickaxe and go mine some iron because I need it.
Wait a minute, am I still audible?
I can still hear you.
Oh, okay. Oh, right, because I have this quick set up so that it's
Oh. I don't even have voice meter running.
I get the same point.
Yeah, that seems sketchy, but alright.
Well, I'm just thinking about how good this will be.
It'll be exceptionally good. Oh, let's see if the thing happens where, like, sometimes it just decides not to clean up certain corpses. Used to be there was a bug on the PC version where, like, this wolf I killed was just there for the entire game. It had been like 4 months in game and it was still just sitting there. God, Theory in this game has so much health.
I've got a sample.
You did it. I'm not gonna go chasing you for that.
I'm gonna see if I can patch this through. Where's
Here's what I actually... I didn't hear that.
Ain't every day we get visitors in
Here's
Riverwood.
what I actually... We're gonna... Cannot wait when enemies are nearby. What? Wait until nighttime, because everything in this domain is mine, and people just don't know that yet, so I'm gonna wait for them to leave.
I'm just gonna wait all night on this bridge.
Go home, Alvor. Gonna wait until no one can see me. This guard will go away. Now I can improve my stuff. You can't take these steel ingots back if I eat them.
God, I wish you could hear what I'm doing here.
please stop looking at me. Whoever's looking at me. I need these iron ingots. They must be mine.
Oh god, I so wish you could hear
Okay, we need, I think, corundum ingots for dino. We need 1 corundum ingot. If I remember right, finding corundum is fucking horrible. You alright?
I have to. Holy shit.
Well, like, put it somewhere where I can, like, just, like, bring it up and listen to it, and I'll play it on stream.
Oh god, how do I do that?
You could... that's a great question. Drop the, like, take, like, save the file, and then drop it in Discord, and I'll just download it. Just an audio file, surely it's not, like, that large. And that's why I do think it's uncompressed FLAC, fuck you, Baltimore. Goddamn line. Let's take a look.
Hello?
Hello.
Okay. I'm about to send it.
Okay.
I will spoil a little bit. This isn't the full fuck you Baltimore.
Oh.
It's just the fuck. That's what I'm working on right now.
Oh, good. Even better.
Alright, Alright, are you ready to receive fuck.mp3?
Yes.
Upload.
Oh, I didn't just play it. I don't even have to download it. Good lord. Oh, jeez.
I heard it in the stream.
When I run out of cherry weight.
Can you please play it? Can you please play it again?
Why do wolf pellets weigh twice as much as normal leather? Where the fuck is hand to hand?
Never should have come here.
we brought into Skyrim perfectly.
Got arrested and all my stolen goods are gone. It occurs to me I didn't sell anything, therefore I have all the stuff still in my inventory and my carry weight's almost full.
I'm gonna cry. Cry.
Yeah, you know what, I'm going back to town. Gotta sell crap before I do all this adventuring.
Oh god.
This one goes out to all of you who don't live in Baltimore. Oh shit. When you don't live in Baltimore. Just don't be like in G major or some shit.
It's trying to Paul stretch it.
Oh god, Paul stretching.
I don't have a good way to stretch out the in the front.
Yeah, so it comes out sort of like yuck. Oh, I guess I better give the golden claw back and get money for it. Be a good guy, I guess.
Oh god.
I found it's really hard to be a bad guy in this game. Like, you can, but like all the quests resolve in a very heroic way. Even the one where you straight up kill the Emperor.
Alright, we're about to keep the real one. Oh god.
Okay.
Well, one of us has to do something.
I said no. No adventures, no theat. I don't know what you. Yeah, an ornament. Solid.
Take the
You
claw.
found it. I'm gonna put this back where it belongs. I'll never forget.
Return the
this. You've done a great
slab.
thing for me and my sister.
Claw.
Riverwood
Where's
Trader is
the
everything you
crab?
need in a general store.
When you don't return the claw.
You and me, take a look.
Trying to get the timing right.
Alright. Keep forgetting to name myself the ultimate Catman. Ancient Nord arrows, who needs them? Battle axe, who needs it?
Fuck it.
Imperial swords, nope. Daggers, fuck off with that shit.
I'm about to export it. Oh god. Alright, here it comes. Here comes fuck you Baltimore as a shout.
You, Baltimore!
That is pretty good.
Till next time.
Badly stretched, like you said, badly stretched to match the cadence. You know how they talked about how like fucking dragon shouts are a way of them like debating each other or something stupid like that.
Right?
Just reminds me of that comment where it's like, "Fuck you, no, fuck you." I do want to point out to everyone who is watching who can't see my Discord. Moody sent me this file as dovateenfutsbaltimore.mp3.
Now the quest. Okay, I was about to ask, like, what does the fuck you Baltimore shop do? But there's only two possibilities. It either makes everyone you shout out just start challenges, or you're immediately teleported to their wife and start fucking her.
Is this why you like Skyrim so much?
Because the challenge
Cause or the wife fucking, which one?
Well.
Or is it just like you just like on a different planet because this is not Earth, someplace called Baltimore. It's very sad.
What?
It's like someplace called Baltimore. Just it's really sad. Either everyone runs or everyone takes up your challenge. Now, granted, if they take up your challenge and they win, then they get no down payment. So it's like, you gotta be careful with that, or you just run out of money.
Now, see, the thing is, now I have to make a challenge pissing shout.
Do you? I mean, like,
Absolutely.
we've made it. We have arrived at the joke.
I mean, I kind of want to. By the way, I can't seem to look at the history of the stream chat.
Really?
Like, I open the chat up, like, I don't have it, like, open at all times. I have it minimized. Does it not update when it's minimized?
I don't believe it does. I think only when it's when it's like active. Can it update?
Okay, I see. Does anyone want to hear challenge pissing as a shout? We should let the audience decide.
That's dangerous.
The thing about challenge pissing as a shout is this gonna sound a lot like "fuck you, Baltimore" as a shout.
Yeah. Now, is it the full equip home of challenge pissing, or that's right challenge pissing?
Just challenge pissing. Just the word, 2 words. Challenge pissing. That's how I imagine it sounding. Now I don't have to make it. I can just say it. Challenge pissing.
Anyway, so back on the serious analysis. The serious analysis of Skyrim that you all came here for. So the Dark Brotherhood questline kind of sucks.
I actually haven't played it too much. I got like a quarter way through it. I've only done like one of the 2 of the side quest lines. So the Companion and the Civil War. Those are the only 2
I ain't done nothing.
I don't claim to be the finest weapons and armor.
I've never actually done any Thieves Guild quests. I've heard it's not great.
Oh yeah, Thieves Guild sucks. God, Trundamines are expensive.
Oh yeah, they're very, very, very.
Don't forget to check inside the shop if you need anything.
But hey, you know what? Upgrade. Banded iron armor. Now I get to look cool.
And we will. See, let's get that full look of how cool you look now. You're having a hard time with these menus.
Yeah, it's not great. Look at how fucking cool that is.
Oh my god, he looks like a big hero. Well, look at through.
Now you'll excuse me, I'm going to go kill a bunch of innocent people. Let's see.
You know, you don't look like a hero, you look like I'm a rotter.
That is kind of what you look like with this armor on, but like... I do like the iron armor better in this game than in Oblivion. But like some of the armor in Oblivion does look cooler than the armor in this game.
He's a steward up at Dragon's Reach.
Like the glass armor specifically, like looks cooler. Like that's really high end. And
I actually don't remember what glass looks like in
in this game it doesn't look like glass, it looks like some sort of weird, like pale blue stone. Oh yeah, let's see. I think I need to get a perk to make steel armor, don't I?
You do.
Okay, so let's see. The thing is, in that mod I was talking about, the baseline mod just gives you steel smithing, so like you can start out by smithing steel armor, and then like.
It doesn't look too bad. I kind of like this actually.
Like what?
The glass armor in Skyrim.
That's fair. I mean, that's really more of an opinion thing. It's not like a full-on.
The thing, I remember now what Oblivion's glass armor looks like. It's too shiny and green. I don't like it.
Fair enough.
I don't like it green.
Man. I want to see what the armor's gonna look like in 6, but like, we don't even know when 6 is coming out. Which means Todd Howard will show up at E3 next year and be like, "It's coming out tomorrow." Because that's how they fucking work at Bethesda conferences. It's like, here's this thing, here's when it's coming out, and it reveals the thing, and it's like, oh my god, it's so soon. Like when they showed off Skyrim at E3, it was like, and it's coming out like this year in November on the 11th, and it's like.
Well, to be fair, they announced that release date like a full year before it came out. Remember? It got premiered at
Maybe.
Game Awards that one year.
Maybe it just feels like it was a shorter period of time. It definitely wasn't the case of Fallout 4. Like
for sure.
Looking for my husband.
Like Fallout 4 was
Nazim.
like there's
Check
like
the
this 6-month
Jarl's
window.
backside.
So Fallout 76 was like, yeah, it's coming out like in 4 months, and then like I said, Elder Scrolls 6 will be like, it came out yesterday. It's like.
It reminds me of a joke I heard with the Cloverfield series of films. How the next film, to top it being released on Netflix after the Super Bowl, it's gonna just the DVD case is just gonna appear behind you after the trailer drops.
Nothing personnel, kid. Did I actually solve my inventory problem? No, I didn't. Why am I so bad at this?
You're a hoarder.
The answer is I've probably got like a fucking laundry list of like food and alchemy ingredients that I don't need to use.
Well, you do have several sets of armor you're not wearing.
Do I? I thought I sold those.
You do. You have several. You have several pieces. You have several armor sets and several.
I don't.
weapons that
Have you
no
met my
intention of
father?
using.
Take a look.
I got steel armor, but who needs that? I got the cool armor.
I got the best.
I made my armor.
Where did you buy yours? The Pansy shop? Oh god, it's a big axe. It's a big axe. Maybe I should have chosen my words a little carefullier.
Oh man, carefully here.
My favorite Alice in Wonderland book.
Don't forget to check inside the shop if you need anything.
Oh, that's the draw with fucking banded iron. It takes corundum to like improve everything else.
I think that was another similarly whimsical book series I'm thinking of. Same thing.
Oh yeah, another thing is the improvement that they did primarily to smithing is that like arcane blacksmith only required like 30.
Oh yeah.
And
Getting smithing to 60 is a fucking chore.
Yeah, it's just like
Especially because I'm pretty sure this is how it works on vanilla. You only get smithing skill by pure smithing. Like improving stuff at the canning rack and smelting, I don't think those contribute to it at all.
Let me get an iron ingot. We'll test this thing.
I help my father. Looking to protect yourself or deal some damage? Until next time.
I forgot that's how Skyrim looks when you're in inventory. Because I have the mod that makes it so nothing pauses the game anymore.
Oh.
Except for pausing the game.
That's interesting. I will need to get that from you. Maybe after the stream is over, I'll fucking just crack open Skyrim or like, mod organizer and we'll figure something out.
Anyway, yeah, it does look like upgrading does give you smithing.
It's a very, very small amount.
Very small. Yeah, it's called Skyfold.
You think? Oh, I'm waiting.
And
hey, it's like
the
finest weapons.
Customize it so that absolutely nothing in the game will freeze time anymore. Your favorites menu, the crafting menus, your inventory, nothing. It completely.
I don't claim to be the best blacksmith in Whiterun.
Yeah, I can imagine. Like, that was something that someone brought up because they were talking about Skyrim VR, where like they did the same thing in Skyrim VR that they did in Fallout VR, where like nothing pauses the game anymore, and it actually adds tension to it because you can't just crack open the menu and like chug 1,000 potions. And it's like that's neat.
is. The downside is that the favorites menu becomes very, very cumbersome to use in the heat of battle.
What even is my key to use the favorites menu? I don't...
It's like up on the D-pad. Hit the favorite something first. But yeah, like the groove I found for it is to just press C, which makes you auto run, and then while I'm fleeing from my enemy, scroll through my favorites menu trying to find the thing I need.
Okay, yes, up on the D-pad.
It's a very cowardly way to work, but cowardice is part of the adventure in my Skyrim.
Yeah, Night Eye is just a thing I have because I'm a Khajiit.
Remember in Morrowind we had to toggle water breathing on and off as a Argonian, which can only do it one
Yeah, that's the thing. I'm glad that in Oblivion there's like, yeah, you just breathe underwater. Like, that's just a thing.
Claws, 15 extra damage in the early game is not
Is
bad
a pretty big deal.
Hold on.
So let's see, how much damage does my axe only does 14 damage. And it's a steel axe. Yeah, no, Q is the favorites whenever you're on PC, so...
I'm so glad my headset has a mute button, like a physical
one. Oh, do you have someone come in? Oh, well, I didn't hear any of it, so...
That's because I pressed my mute button.
I guess it's probably about time to hand in that
Mister,
fucking tablet.
could you spare a coin?
You're very fight that dragon.
So let's go talk to far. We should also maybe see about buying some spells if we have some spare money.
Should go talk to Fart Guar.
Fart and car.
First I park my car, then I fart in my car.
I fart in car, and I have to open the. I have to roll down the windows.
You have a visitor.
Ah, yes, the Jarl's protege. Back from Bleak Falls Barrow.
Potions.
The fart car, the next evolution
You didn't
of the
die,
Stone
it
car. Powered not by feet, but by ass.
I failed to make a potion.
Ah, the Dragon Stone of Bleak Falls Barrow. Seems you are a cut above the usual brutes. The Jarl. You'll have to see the Jarl. My associate.
What is
So
with
you'll
the way you
come
speak?
to Dragon's Reach to discuss.
Tell me
I
about
had
magic.
you figured
Okay,
for
so
a
books.
I think you'll appreciate this.
About magic. Well, you see, back in the First Age, God died, and his rotting carcass was pecked at by the space birds, and that is where all magic comes from. By the way, that's the sun.
Also, we're going to forget about that largely as the game series progresses. Let's see here.
That's still like the coolest thing in the Elder Scrolls lore to me is that the sun is a god's like corpse, and it's where all magic comes from. And the sun is not the sun, rather than a celestial body. It's a hole in the fucking universe.
The Elder Scrolls universe is cool. It's just they largely they don't do much with it.
They don't. It's too weird to make a game out of. Is the thing.
I would say sure, but like they did like
with Morrowind.
Like Daggerfall and Morrowind are real into that.
Well, that's the thing is like. It's too out there to like center an entire game around, because it's also like not very tangible. It's like you can learn about the fact that the sun is not the sun; it's a hole in the universe where all magic comes from, and it's also a god. But are you gonna do anything with that?
Let's see, what spells do I want? I got Candlelight, because that's important.
Daggerfall's entire thing with the timeline is hilarious. It is legitimately one of my favorite things that's ever happened in any fantasy thing. Purely because it's a fix that they came up with after it was out. I was like, we have too many endings, and all of them end in a society dying.
We have to get Ice Spike, and we have to see if it's still a thing. Okay, so like Ice Spike has an absurd amount of force behind it.
Oh god, yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and put that in.
Mystics, you're completely 100% right.
Just send me a copy.
Oh my god, the warp in the west. Do you know about how Mystics? Do you know about how it's actually part of a great concept called the Dragon Break, which is quite literally when time just fucks up. When time can't handle something, and it just fucks. It's happened a few times in the series, actually, besides just the warp in the west. It's always great.
I can't even cast Fire Rune yet. Costs 200 magicka.
There's another...
Farengar, you need to
dragon
come at
break.
once. A dragon's been sighted nearby.
Dragon.
Or, like,
Disrespect the law, you
probably
disrespect me.
online.
What was it doing?
I'd take this a bit more seriously if I were you. If a dragon decides to attack Whiterun, I don't know who can stop it.
A dragon break, sometimes referred to as an untime. Holy shit. That time, the moment when time was when time was set to no.
So, Irileth tells me you came from the Western Watchtower?
Oh yeah, Skyrim,
Yes, my lord.
deals with the
Tell him
dragon
what
break,
you told
actually,
me
like, in the plot.
about the dragon.
Yeah, well, you go.
Oh, that's right.
Back in time.
The sword coming from the south. It was fast. Faster than anything
No,
I've
no,
ever
that's
seen.
really
What did it do? Is it attacking the Watchtower?
I do appreciate that in this game when
No,
you
my
cast
lord.
Candlelight, the actual
just
light instead of
circling
just
overhead
being you
when
have
I
a
left.
light
I
aura.
never ran so
There's an
fast in my
actual
life.
physical
I thought it
light.
would come after me for sure.
Good
Like,
work.
that is a thing I enjoy.
We'll
They
take it
definitely
from
made
here.
the spell effects very
Head
nice.
down to the barracks for some food and rest.
When time went out for some sandwiches.
Irileth, you'd better gather some guardsmen and get down there.
I've already ordered my men to muster near the main gate.
There was one called
Good.
the Tiber Wars. but
Don't
it's a
fail
big
me.
block of text.
There's
I
no
don't
time
read
to
it.
stand on ceremony, my friend.
I
need your
forgot
help
you
again.
can't, for whatever
I
reason,
want
you just
to go
cannot
with
skip
Irileth
anything
and help her
Baldur
fight
says.
this dragon. You survived
Not now.
Helgen, so you have more
Not
experience
now.
with dragons than anyone else here. But I haven't forgotten the service you did for me in retrieving the Dragon Stone for Farengar.
Help her
As a
fight the
token of
dragon.
my
That
esteem,
sounds
I have
very-
instructed Avenici that you are now permitted to purchase property.
Now I
in
can
the
buy a
cities,
house.
please. Accept this gift from my personal army.
I'm not gonna buy this house. I'm gonna go
I
buy
should
the
come
house
along.
plot
I would
over
very
here,
much like to see
False
this
Reef.
dragon.
No, I can't afford to risk both of you.
You've never
I
touched
need you
the
here
expansions
working on ways to
besides
defend the city
Hearthfire. I'm
against
actually
these
the
dragons.
opposite.
I've never touched Hearthfire.
Hearthfire.
Okay, so I like Hearthfire actually. Like, it's chill.
I've never touched it.
Hey, so we got this this cool banded iron shield. We're gonna turn it directly into experience.
God, I forgot that Candlelight is like a minute long. in
Yeah,
vanilla.
you gotta fucking like. And that's another thing that perk mod does. Is it fucking makes it so it sort of reintroduces like ability scaling based on your ability stores. So like when you cast Candlelight, you know, it starts out short like this, and then by the time you're like master alteration, you can just fucking like you can cast it and it'll last for like 2 hours.
I'm going through my original creator audio folder. Boy.
The gods in Dragonreach say you hated the yard.
Is there?
Yes. I have this one mashup.
If
here
you need
called
potions, you should try
Butterfield's
Arcadia's
Perfect.
Isolde, was it? Come to chat with an old woman?
I don't know if you want to hear that one.
We'll take that off the air.
It's not. It's nothing bad.
Well, I don't
worry.
figure, but like We're about to do the cool Dovahkiin thing to fight a dragon, so.
It's gonna go great with that, actually.
Is it?
I mean, you never know. Until you try. I also have a file called "Let This Robot Eat Her Cereal" .mp3.
Okay.
I do remember what that's from. I do remember what that is. It's bad. I have one called Flesh Take 2. .mp3. The sad thing is I know exactly what that is.
So the thing about Ice Spike is we had to lead our shots with it, but like, if we hit stuff with it, it's gonna do a lot of damage.
A lot.
And like the thing is, instead of dual casting it so that we like overcharge it, we're actually gonna offset our cast just a little bit so we fire 2 at once.
Yeah, that's the good shit.
Like aside from spellcrafting not being a thing, I do like the magic better in Skyrim.
It's the way it's the most practical spin. Well, I guess Morrowind technically had a little more practicality.
Well, I mean, it's like there's definitely more utility in like the magic in Oblivion in Skyrim, Oblivion in Morrowind. Like, you know,
in
there's
terms of, like, usability.
But like, you know, I've been relying pretty heavily on a spell called Ease Burden in Oblivion. It's just like you get feather 30 or feathered for 50 points for like 3 minutes. And it's like, or actually, it's closer to like 5 minutes actually, and and like, you know, 50 points of extra carry weight for 5 minutes is a big deal.
Yeah, for real. The thing about Skyrim's magic system is it's the most balanced it's been. Because with Morrowind, you had to put away your weapon entirely, charge the spell, and then hopefully cast it. And that made it pretty unreliable. And with Oblivion, it was a button to cast anything.
Get back. It's still
that
here
was
somewhere.
Pretty overpowered.
Porky and Tor just got grabbed when they tried to
Excuse
make a
me,
run
I'm
for
here. I'm not over there where you think I am.
Killer, save us.
Because,
Here he
like,
comes again.
You cast a spell with a fucking giant hammer.
I mean, at least in Oblivion, you had a key that was just bound to use whatever magic you had. Because like now in Skyrim, they just sort of expanded on that. You just have 2 hands you can use.
Oh, these dragons! Are you gonna kill the dragon?
Oh, I tried to? Well, I mean, I'm not. I'm just taking a whole lot of magic.
Dragon. There's a dragon.
Good thing I have a ton of potions. Daddy! Yeah, that's someone else. Oh no. I'm stuck! Door's stuck! Please. Potions of magic, that would be pretty important. I do.
Always challenge pits to— oh fuck! That fireball whizzed past your head.
Yeah,
Wow.
the guards are really hairy. Really. Ah, we got it. Yeah.
Let's make sure that overgrown lizard
Trying to cut out your
Take all the dragon stuff for later. In 1,000 hours when I fucking actually have the crafting skill to make dragon armor.
damn good shoot, boy.
Okay, we're gonna just go ahead and put ice spike. Wait for him to give us the thing. Is it still a thing? Sword, cool. Boop. Yeah! Fucking see ya, dick.
Oh, I can't wait to see Holy shit! Holy shit!
Like I said, ice spike is important, and now they're gonna run all the way over to that skeleton.
Holy shit.
So at least I know where it landed. Because, there it is. See, the thing is, if it landed on a giant, it probably would have actually killed that giant, and then I would have got giant stuff.
Hell yeah! Yeah, the fire spike's on it here.
Probably didn't land on anything.
Landed on a rock and like cracked the back open. Which is good because now you can get all that juicy dragon marrow.
Tastes like biscuits.
Okay, I have a question. I have an experiment for you.
I can't
Okay.
believe it.
Can you
You're
get
Dragon
under
Ball.
the dragon and then launch it directly into the air?
Directly, oh, we should try that.
In the very oldest, that's what
Quiet
you did.
you, I
isn't
know
it?
what Dragonborn is.
Absorbed. There's only one way. According to the old legends, only the Dragonborn can shout without training. The way the
Crash.
dragons. My grandfather used to tell stories about the Dragonborn. Born with the dragon blood in them.
The answer is
Like old
yes.
Tiber Septim myself.
I've never heard of Tiber Septim killing any dragons.
Oh, I can't.
There weren't any dragons then, idiot. They're just
It
coming back
despawned!
now for the first time in forever.
Oh no!
But the old tales tell of the Dragonborn who can kill dragons and steal their power.
So long, Gabe Alpha. Holy shit, it's majestic. Out of the existence.
Oh my god, I'm so glad they didn't fix that.
Skyrim's got some physics for real.
Well, see, it's like, okay, so there's a mod you can get called Realistic Ragdolls in Force, and
Why
like,
would you want that?
yeah, why would you want that for one? But also like, it's like it fixes that. And it's like, why would you want that at all? That is the worst.
God. I think I have to use that mod for something. That pisses me off.
Yeah, 'cause it for sure fixes the ice spike thing, and that's when I determined I'm never fucking following it again.
Yeah.
So if it does that to a dragon corpse, though, imagine what it does to something light.
By the way,
Mm-hmm.
I have something for you. That's related to Skyrim.
Okay.
It is a thing that makes me lose my shit every time I see it. It is legitimately one of the funniest things I have ever seen in a video game. Let me get it. You can put it up on the screen too.
Oh, excuse me.
That's not it. That is definitely not it. That's a private thing.
Yeah.
And just so we're all clear, it was not porn.
Yeah, no, it was just like I would assume like a watch list for anything. Like, I'll just describe it because it's really just words. It's just a status message from Skyrim where it just says bear is too powerful for fear. It's pretty good.
Legitimately one of the greatest things I've ever read in my life. every time I think of it. God. What else? What else can we talk about? How about that house? How about the mountain? What do you think of that mountain?
It's a neat looking mountain. I jumped up it in the wrong way a whole bunch of times. You know, I did Skyrimming the verb.
Oh god, that reminds me of like the one time I played World of Warcraft. Years and years ago, I was way into Oblivion at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And I tried to. Hello, Miss Alyssa. Thank you for looking. I was way into Oblivion at the time, and in Elder Scrolls games. In Elder Scrolls games, it's really easy to just jump up steep cliffs, and there's just no consequence for it. So I played World of Warcraft expecting that to work, and when it didn't, I said, like, in the open chat, mountain climbing is much easier in Oblivion.
Look at this butterfly.
To everyone. Also, my first my first Oblivion save had 365 days on it,
Good
but
Lord.
I was level 1.
Oh yeah, because leveling up can be actively detrimental in that game.
No, because I didn't know how leveling up worked.
Oh, that too. Okay, I'm pretty sure somewhere around Whiterun, I'm pretty certain there's a,
It legitimately took me until like playthrough 5 for me to figure out how leveling up worked in Oblivion. I'm not joking.
I'm pretty sure somewhere around Whiterun there's a,
There's a bandit camp, right?
no, there's a vein of Corundamore.
Oh shit, is there?
Yeah, it's tucked away pretty hard. I usually, like when I'm on the PC, I have the version, like there's a mod that makes ore veins glow. And it's you know, it's one of those things where they only glow when you get close to it, and it's really nice looking. And then it's like, Corundum glows like a different color than iron. Like all the ores glow a different color, so that you know which ones are which. And like it's because like with mods like the lighting effects, it can be almost impossible to spot ore when you're in mines because it's pitch black. And so like it just adds a little bit of extra like visual cue, makes it easier to find ore, which is really good when you're doing stuff that changes up perks, because then crafting and everything gives you more experience, so you want to do it more. And so like you know, you can it just makes the whole flow of the game easier. It's one of the things where like a little change has like a snowballing effect on other stuff.
Right.
I don't think you can get it on PS4.
Probably not. It's a custom asset.
This is true.
It's still so weird to me that's like a concern for Sony. Like, oh, we can't. I mean, didn't they say it was like a security issue or something?
I think so. Sony is weird. Like I like their console best out of the you know, the two. I don't consider Nintendo part of it like a triad like most people do, because Nintendo's usually sufficiently different. But like when it comes to like Sony versus Microsoft, I'm definitely a Sony guy. I don't really do yeah, at spots. But like that's also because like recently Microsoft's been supporting PC a lot more.
It's
already been told you're not allowed here. Turn around and go back the way you came.
You're a captain.
We're causing no trouble. All we
Do you have the gamer fuel?
After what happened, you're lucky I don't toss you.
I have the gamer fuel in the form of an NVIDIA GTX 970. It's not the strongest, but it's still quite sufficient for modern gaming. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm going to go verbally stroke myself.
Alfred, patron of the great clan.
You there. We're looking for someone in Whiterun. We'll pay good money for information.
Enter the code.
A woman, a foreigner in these lands.
You did a free
Redguard,
copy.
like us. She's likely not using her true name. We will pay for any information.
If I got a free copy of Skyrim for buying a graphics card in this day and
we will be
age,
in Rorikstead if we learn it.
I would be a little bit concerned.
It's none of your concern. If that doesn't interest you, feel free to walk away.
But yeah, like the only thing
Come
as
to
far
chat
as I
with
can
an
tell
old
that Xbox
woman.
has that nobody else has is backwards compatibility.
Yeah. I mean, that used to be Nintendo's big thing. Like,
That was yeah.
But isn't
And now
it?
it's
You did it.
now it's Microsoft
Kill the dragon.
destroying 2 whole generations.
and that's good because Crimson Skies is basically unobtainable now.
Oh, I have a copy of it.
It's a good game.
There has been talk amongst the gods that you are.
Yeah, it's like one of my most recent game purchases was I purchased Forza Horizon 4 on the Xbox store so that I could play it on PC. And it's because like you can buy that game on PC and play it on Xbox and vice versa.
Nice. Another like absolute classic for Xbox. Actually, one of my favorite games ever. Panzer Dragoon Orta. You played that?
I haven't played it because I didn't own an Xbox.
It's extremely good.
Ain't
Like-
nobody high and mighty in these halls.
I mean, like, I know I saw that you had tweeted about Panzer Dragoon Orta.
It's legitimately the pinnacle of
Good.
the
You're finally
genre
here.
Of, like,
The Jarl's been waiting for you.
So what happened at the watchtower?
like
Was the
even better
dragon
than
there?
Star Fox 64, I would say.
That's a pretty strong claim.
That's
Star Fox
very-
64 is so good that they keep re-releasing it as other games.
I knew I could
legitimately,
count
think
on
the
your
only
left.
thing that
But
Star
there
Fox
must
has
be
over
more
Panzer
to it
Dragoon
than
Orta is like replayability. That's it. Everything else is better.
Of course, I have opinions about Star Fox in that I think Star Fox Zero was a good game, and a lot of
I have
people do
not
not share
played
that
it.
opinion.
I have not played it. The opinion I have formed through watching reviews and gameplay is it's a good game. If
So
you can
it's
get
true.
Used to it.
Greybeard, masters of the
completely
dragon.
understand why
If
some
you
people
really
can't
are
get used to it.
Dragonborn,
Oh, I gained the ultimate
They can-
Dragonborn power.
you heard the summons.
I can skip
else could it
Baldur's
mean?
dialogue now.
The Greybeards.
Didn't you hear
I
the
thought you were gonna
thundering
say
sound as you
throwing
returned to
video.
Whiterun? That was the voice of the Greybeards, summoning you to High Hrothgar. This has
Also, yeah,
happened
like you don't get
centuries
this
at
level,
least.
like just from a
Not
story
since
standpoint,
Tiber
you don't
Septim
get this
himself
level of clout
was
so
summoned,
quickly
he was
in
the Talos of
Oblivion.
Rungar, calm yourself.
Like you have to go through a
What
lot
does any
to
of
be,
this Nord nonsense have to do
like
with our
just
friend
becoming the
here?
hero of Kvatch is
Capable
like
as he may be,
a pretty
I don't
sizable
see any
amount of
signs
stuff
of him
you have to
being
do.
this, what, Dragonborn.
What nonsense!
I
Why,
actually have
you
a
puffed-up
visual
ignorant!
for-
These are our sacred
Panzer
traditions
Dragoon
that go
Orta.
back to the founding of the First
that you can
Empire.
put up on the screen once it's
Rongar,
picture.
don't be so hard on Avenucci.
I meant no disrespect, of
In
course.
the meantime, I'll set this up.
It's just that,
Panzer
what do these
Dragoon Orta is
Greybeards
the
want
fourth
with
game
him?
in the series. It's
That's the
final game in the
Greybeards'
series,
business, not
and
ours.
It is
Whatever
the
happened when you
last
killed that
of
dragon,
a
it revealed something
series
in you.
of
And
beautiful,
the Greybeards heard it.
story-rich,
If they think you're
lore-rich,
Dragonborn,
which is
who are
rare
we
for
to
a rail
argue?
shooter.
You'd better get up to
Lore-rich,
High
it
Hrothgar
has a
immediately. There's
sprawling
no
story
refusing the
with
summons
twists
of the
and
Greybeards.
climaxes galore,
It's a
and it is
tremendous
the
honor.
equal to
I envy
an actual
you, you know,
RPG.
to climb the
from
7,000
Saturn,
steps
like
again.
one of the, what
I
some
made the
people will claim
pilgrimage
is-
once.
Was one of the best
Did you
RPGs
know
ever
that?
made. But you
High
won't play it and
Hrothgar
find
is
out
a
because
very
it's $1,000.
peaceful
I'm not
place.
even exaggerating
Very
on that one.
Yeah, no,
disconnected
Xbox
from
games
the
are
troubles
not only
of
like
this
impossible
I
to
wonder
emulate.
that the Greybeards
No,
even
no,
notice
this is
what's
Saturn
going
game.
on
Oh,
down
so I just said,
here.
oh.
They haven't seemed to
Panzer
care
Dragoon
before.
Saga was a Sega Saturn. That was the RPG
No
one.
matter.
I'll have to
Go
talk
to
to
High
Shadow
Hrothgar.
more.
Learn what the Grey
She knows where all,
can teach
she knows where all the like emulation
You've done a
stuff
great
is.
service for me and my
I
city,
tried to emulate,
Dragonborn. By my right as Jarl, I name you Thane of Whiterun.
Yeah, Saturn emulation is
that's
weird.
within my power
I was
to
able to
I
at one
assign
point
you
emulate
Lydia as a
Shining in the
mercenary
Holy Ark.
housecarl, and this weapon
So
for my
and it
armorer
emulated
to serve
perfectly.
as
So
your
like
badge of office.
maybe some steps have
I'll
been
also
made.
notify my guards of your new
But,
title.
I tried to
Wouldn't
play
want them to
Saga
think you're
emulated
part of the
it.
common rabble, now would we? We are
Main
honored
thing is
to
I
have
also
you
want to
as
emulate
Thane
Radiant
of our
Silver
city,
Gun, 'cause
Dragonborn. Back to
that is
business,
also
Proventus.
an
We still have a
extremely good
city to
game.
defend.
Yes, my lord.
Yeah, Saga. Legitimately 100% a complete copy with all the discs, which are 4. The manual, the case, everything in good condition is like $1,200.
Good God Almighty.
Yeah. Meanwhile,
The Jarl has appointed
Orta,
me to be your
you can get that
housecarl.
for like $15
It's an honor to serve you.
physically, or you can get it digitally on Xbox One for
The
10.
Jarl. The title of Thane is an honor.
Guess which game
a
more
gift
people
for
have
your
played?
service. Guards will know to
I
look
wonder.
the other way if you tell them who
Stormcloaks,
you are.
Imperials,
All right,
Dragons.
then.
Ain't no matter to me what I kill.
Now I'm just going to leave Lydia standing here awkwardly for the rest of the game.
Forever. Well, now the game is open to you. What are you gonna do?
Let me guess.
Someone
stole your soul.
I don't know. Let's find out.
My recommendation is close your eyes, spin around, go in whatever direction you want.
I did get that quest to go get what's his Amaranth's sword. I do also have 30,000 tons of dragon bones in my inventory, so and like I will get more of them before I can craft that armor.
Much more.
So like that's money in the bank.
Money.
I can go sell it to Garrett from Thief. And then I can go to another village when he runs out of money and sell it to Garrett
You
from
tried
Thief.
mercenary work? It might suit you.
Is that actually like Bellator's voice actor?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Anyway, Panzer Dragoon Orta is
Let me know if you see anything
huge,
you
epic,
like.
sprawling adventure.
I
with
work
a
for Bellator.
big
Everything's
story,
for
weird story with
trinkets,
twists and turns,
odds and ends,
the
that
end
sort of thing.
A classic sci-fi post-apocalypse fantasy world. And the thing is, Japanese box art looks like a fucking porn game.
Oh, good. Is that the Japanese art?
That's the Japanese box art. You can put that up on screen. It looks legitimately like an eroge.
There's the link for anyone involved. It's safe for work.
It's very safe for work. It just looks suggestive.
Let's see. What can I buy from Bellathor? You got any soul gems? Oh, not that one. That one's too expensive.
Excuse me, Mr. Bellathor. Do you have any souls of the damned?
Steel ingots. I'm gonna need those eventually.
My eyesight isn't as good as it used to be. I need these souls to see.
Okay, soul gem. Basically, I need this money so I can sell stuff so I can get my money back. Fury, Lesser Ward, Sparks. Good lord, you suck, Bellathor. Potion of Cure Disease, very good. Like that.
Slurp. Ah.
Minor healing. Let's see, okay. Take this lantern, take this garnet, take these dragon's tail.
I have a problem right now.
What's that?
Where did this jar of pickles come from on my desk?
It is a mystery.
Tickle the chin of that angry thing and a suggestive twiddle of the fingers.
Do not
Oh
need
god.
Do not need a scroll of hysteria. It's funny, but I don't need it. I understand why I don't need those. Weak magic of poison. Don't need that. Apparel. Amulet of Talos. I'm not a Nord. Belted tunic. Copper and on its circlet. You would think that would be worth more, but whatever. Foot wraps. tuning.
I have a real question, and you can choose to not answer this.
Okay.
Never mind. I realize it's probably a bad question to be asking on Twitch. To be asking live playing a video game. I just realized that. Never mind. I'll ask it in private.
Type it in the chat, in the Discord chat, and I'll react but not answer.
Come back.
I'll react but not answer, and I'll just leave it up to everyone's imagination.
You know nothing. Nothing of our struggles, our suffering.
I can't prove magic item, so I'm guessing I should probably just disenchant that for experience. Let's see what
Your son chose his side, and he chose poorly. And now he's
I see.
Such is the way of
Yeah, that's probably not a question you should ask while we are live on stream.
If we killed the dragon once, we'll do it again. With your help.
Nobody knows the question is here,
I guess no.
I spend a lot of time at the market stall so I can learn the merchant's trade.
Well, okay, we'll put it like this. Because it's actually a pretty innocuous question. The question was, do you find any dragons hot? So the thing is, I am on record as finding one particular fishman hot.
Is it the Zelda one?
Yeah.
Come to Dragon's Reach to discuss the ongoing.
I don't know. I can't really think of any dragons where I'm like, gotta do that.
To be honest, he's a completely flat character. Alduin is really hot.
Magic damage.
Thanks for coming, everybody. Hope you enjoyed the stream.
So hey, magic damage. I can enchant stuff now with magic damage. We should do that at some point.
You know, it's pretty good. I mean, it's not gonna come in too handy. I feel like with magic damage, you're more likely to kill the target before
it matters. Yeah.
They say there's nothing
Hey,
you if she put. Once I've made enough
become
money.
a merchant, I can go get a fucking mammoth
I met one of
tusk
the
real
caravan
easy.
leaders. You do that?
Probably on the.
One. I could teach you a thing or two.
Yeah,
about
well,
trading.
there's a mine that we're probably gonna end up going to get Amron's sword back.
Oh, right.
And in there's a cart full of mammoth tusks.
Yeah. Either kill one mammoth or 10 people.
Be 10 people who are significantly easier to kill than one
Cause
mammoth.
trouble in Whiterun, and I'll follow you.
Because they all decide to stand on an oily floor with a bunch of flammable lanterns hanging above.
They're not smart.
Do you smell turpentine?
If I tried to invoke a Skyrim accent, I would just end up being Transylvanian. I can't have that.
Well, I mean, I know there's a couple of voice actors in this game who are actually Icelandic.
Really?
Like the guy who comes in, he's like, I saw a dragon and it was going faster than I've ever seen anything move before. I think he's actually from Finland.
Huh.
So it's like either Finland or somewhere in that general area. And there's a few women in this game who are I think from Norway.
I did not know this.
So like they have actual like authentic accents. Then it's like compared to like here's this guy who is in all the other Elder Scrolls games trying to do a Norse accent.
You should level up.
I should do that.
Another good Xbox game that I just realized is not Xbox exclusive.
What's that?
Burnout 3.
Burnout 3 is one of the best racing games ever made.
I picked it up at a convention earlier this year, having heard about Burnout for years and years and years, but having never touched one, and I was immediately sold on the series.
The problem is they are no longer making Burnout games.
It's true. But like, holy shit, that game is so much fun. I don't really like a lot of racing games, my tastes in them are very, very picky and specific. Like I don't if the handling isn't how I like, then I just don't play it at all. I have very specific taste in handling. But Burnout, holy shit, that gets it. That gets it for me. It's a racing game for the rest of us.
They're like, what if we just made you fucking crash it? Crash all the other racers.
Crash into everything and be rewarded for it. Another actually pretty good Xbox game. Actually, and I know it's not exclusive. The Xbox version of Doom 3, like, surprisingly good.
The problem being is that it is still Doom 3.
Yeah. Honestly, I kind of like Doom 3.
That's fair. It's just
as the slightly above average survival horror game that it is.
I feel like if they had named it something other than Doom, it would have been perfectly fine.
Yeah, it's a, like I said, it's a slightly above average like action game. It's a decent survival horror game. It's a terrible Doom game.
Yeah, and especially now we live in a post-2016 world, where Doom came out in 2016, and it was fucking amazing.
It was awesome. I love that.
It was actually, I think, I want to say it was my game of the year 2016. Like,
I think it's literally the only game I played.
There wasn't a lot in 2016, but even then, like, you know, Doom was so far and away the best game that came out in 2016.
For sure. But the Xbox version of Doom 3, I actually think it holds up a little better than the PC version, just because it's a lot more bite-sized, a lot more manageable to play, because the maps are scrunched, and normally that would be a bad thing. I feel like it helps the pacing, actually, a lot. It's a much faster-paced game.
Okay, time to do some platforming.
It also has a custom co-op which is a scrunched version of the scrunched. It's a novelty and a half to play. You can play it single player actually through a workaround. Like it's not split screen. It's one of those games where there's no split screen. It's all LAN and online system link and stuff. But you can start up a system link game by yourself, and it will be perfectly functional. And I've always wanted to do a full playthrough of it in the co-op campaign. It's very interesting.
But yeah, like I know the thing is, like, it sort of has been the same way. It's with the exception of the PS2 by comparison to the Xbox, but like, just as far as Xbox is concerned, usually it starts out pretty strong and then kind of peters off. When did Panzer Dragoon Order come out in the Xbox's life cycle?
December 2000.
So pretty like decently early in it.
Yeah, same year the Xbox came out.
Okay, so like I don't remember anything that came out past like 2004 for the Xbox. And I know it's just
there wasn't a lot that came out after 2004, honestly.
like, because I know in 2000, yeah, 2000, like late 2005, early 2006 was the Xbox 360. So I mean, but like contrast the PS2,
which still had exclusives coming out in 2008 and 2009.
and it's like, you don't get much better than that.
No.
Like, it's a very unfair comparison. I cannot believe I missed that.
Maybe Wii, but I say Wii is a lot sort of the case. Like, Wii was still getting exclusives, I think.
Yeah, I think it was.
People like
Getting my Here, give me. Damn it! I cannot believe I fucking missed that. Here, give me some more while my magic regenerates.
Holy shit. Whoa, get off me. Comparison / complaints I hear about Skyrim like, it feels like you're hitting someone with a paddle a lot.
Well, I mean, Oblivion's feels like you're hitting someone with a loaf of bread. So I mean, it's like
yeah. Like I don't get that with hitting enemies, like attacking. I feel that when enemies are attacking me, especially like these low tier bandits. But there is one great thing that I love about Skyrim's combat, and specifically its leveling system, because it has the leveling with you that Oblivion had, but it does something wonderful that I love, which is it never stops spawning the low tier bandits. And at some point in the game, you get so good with your stuff that you kill them in one hit. And it is beyond immensely satisfying. It is so good.
And here's the thing, it's level 5 apparently.
Well, I said it happened, I didn't say it happened later.
Okay, so it didn't send us to the right camp, is the thing. Does Amaranth's sword to be in like any camp that's like right near Whiterun?
What if it was like deep in the swamp of Northwall?
That would suck.
Who's there? Rodolphe?
Oh,
That
yeah,
you?
I forgot about that.
Boss was looking for you. Said he'd be up at the summit. Better not keep him waiting.
I won't, Jim Cummings.
Why does a Khajiit have a name like Rolduff? Fuck Skyrim names. All the way in the Dragonborn Seals area. Good lord.
Good lord. Yeah, just in Solstheim, that would be pretty terrible.
It's in the special area of Dragonborn.
Would have just told Amaranth, I would have just like handed him 50 gold, just it's an iron sword. Just be like, here's 50 gold, it's way more than that thing was worth. I was like, I realize it has sentimental value, but fuck it, honestly.
Honestly, if that were the case, I would go get it, get my 50 gold. Over here. Damn.
I cannot rest you.
I forgot how actually kind of easy vanilla Skyrim is.
It's pretty easy.
I actually completely forgot.
I am extremely tempted to raise them.
I know.
I remember that.
Well, rest in peace, that guy. Why does my candlelight stop working whenever I go into an inventory menu?
They couldn't program.
They couldn't program. Good answer.
Live from
Todd Howard specifically could not program. That's not true. We all know Todd can program. He was on Morrowind. He did stuff in Morrowind.
He was the guy who fell from the Skulls of Carrion Flight. That was him programming.
He's on record. Like I have a problem with Todd Howard because like he's on record saying like he takes a very subtractive like stance when it comes to game design. So that, like he's probably the reason we just don't have fucking hand to hand anymore.
Really? He's where all the like reducing boosting of like skills comes from, huh?
Yep.
Huh.
Oh, I bet I look cool as hell now. Let's see. Oh, never mind. The steel helmet doesn't work quite good with Khajiit.
Of course not. Dogs I could train.
I miss the days we couldn't wear helmets at all.
Not a chance.
Or boots.
Lucky if it doesn't rip our throats out.
Or shoes.
What was that? What was that?
Something's changed for the better. Thank you for the follow, Stella Metal. Thanks for coming hanging out with us.
Thank you for the follow, Mr. Skeleman.
It's a pretty fucking awesome name, actually.
Skelemetal, the ultimate lizard, who raised the dead by playing the sickest and most gratifying of the metal lizards you've ever heard. Skelemetal, coming.
I didn't even realize you were hitting me in the back with arrows. That tickles!
Coming soon to Cartoon Network. Skelemetal.
Remind me of my cousin's cat. That too.
I'm gonna come up there and hit you with his axe until you die.
Kill you!
Which is twice. I hit you twice. Do the sniper elite thing where you can just turn them up.
Stepped out for a smidge. How goes Catman's murder spree?
Pretty good.
I mean, we can actually get like a concrete number for that, can't we?
Oh yeah, let's take a look at the stats. Let's see. I have
Wow, you've killed 2 million people. The population of Skyrim is only 1.7.
combat. People killed 23. 23 people, 16 animals.
Alright.
No creatures, which are distinct from animals. Undead, 17 killed. I
What
love.
if it said you've killed 1 Daedra?
How would I? How? I'm trying to think. Just like, what would I even justify that as? Like,
Well, I did kill 1 mud crab that was giving me one hell of a stink eye.
give me the wheat. I need that because I know it does. Like, I can make potions with wheat and like toes, and it makes restore health potions. Because this game is fucking bonkers.
It's a game where you can eat a bee.
Yeah.
So how are you enjoying Skyrim with my preference?
It's pretty fun. It's all right. Hi.
Never should have come here.
Oh no, this man's beefy.
Oh no. It'll probably be better once we get out of the beginning area. Oh yeah. Fuck you, Baltimore, quick.
I don't have fucking Baltimore. Oh no.
Open the Discord, play it real quick. Play it as you kill him.
Flip my weapon slowly.
1 second.
Oh yeah, go for the arrows. That'll do it. Nah, it didn't really have the impact we had hoped.
Pretty good. That explains why he was fucking you up so much.
Yeah, he was hitting me pretty hard. Steel hammer, and had gloves that helped him do it.
Okay, now, part of me wants to post this sound clip somewhere so that someone can actually put it into Skyrim.
Oh, is that it? We have a perfect angle for this.
Oh. Are you gonna do that? Oh.
No, That wasn't nearly as satisfying as I hoped. I have no idea where he is, but like,
that was pretty good actually. Honestly, I like that was good.
got him right in the ass and backwards. Narrowly avoided having my fucking shit ruined by having to fucking sell
the
stuff.
big dudes with the two-handed weapons will fuck you up in this game.
And he was
Like,
nameless.
That's where the blocking comes in, like really helpful.
Books in Skyrim are not as good as they are in Oblivion and Morrowind.
I think they're all about the same quality.
So, did you ever read the real Baron Zaya?
I have not. I have never gotten to reading any of the multi-part book series because I always want to start at the first volume, and I can never find the first volume.
So, okay, the thing is, like, the real Baron Zaya is a series of books that's still in Skyrim, but they had to change it by Morrowind.
Really?
Like, I think it's still the same in Morrowind, but it describes in great detail this woman fucking a Khajiit. And it talks about certain aspects of Khajiit anatomy. Well.
The barb like a cat tick or feels like a human tick?
Okay. It says explicitly it is barbed like a cat tick.
Okay.
And it's
We
like,
have that important lore now.
yeah, you know, and someone sat down and fucking wrote that. It's like,
And his name was Michael Kirkbride. Probably.
I don't know. I don't think Michael Kirkbride was on the team in Daggerfall, because that's when that book was first put in the game or put in the series.
Oh,
Like I said, it was changed after. I want to say it was changed after Morrowind. Like it's a lot more toned down in Oblivion.
Do you or anyone in the audience know of the arguably greatest piece of Elder Scrolls lore regarding Slode?
What is this?
The Slode is a race of toad-like necromantic island dwellers that have appeared exactly once in the series, and that was in Redguard.
Alright, yeah, Stros Makai. Then they might actually appear in ESO then.
No, there wasn't Stros Makai. But
Well, I mean, the setting of Redguard is Stros Makai.
yeah. The Slode are very territorial people. You know, like anyone coming to their island, the people who try to go to their island to investigate them have all died. Like a 0%, a 100% fatality rate for people visiting them and trying to figure out what they are. They're very cautious people, very necromantic, like I said, and they're also great bankers. That might not be true.
Very conducive to, you know, being an isolationist race.
But anyway, they have a book in Morrowind onwards called Kavakis, I think, something like that. It is written in the language of the Slode, and it is complete indecipherable gibberish that no one on Tamriel can decipher. Because no one knows what their language is. No one can figure it out. No one can go and find out. The name presumably suggests that it was written by Kavasta, who is the one Slode that we have ever met in the series. He was Redguard. And the thing is, Kavaka.
Got some. I don't claim the finest weapons and armor.
And translating it reveals it to be an article about copyright on the internet. About specifically image copyright on the web, as it's called in this book. Which some people take as a joke. I take it as the Slode have something analogous to the human internet, and nobody on Tamriel knows this.
It's pretty good.
I love that so much. It is one of my absolute favorite pieces in Elder Scrolls lore. Just, because let me show you what a Slode.
Don't forget to
looks
check
like.
inside the shop if you need anything.
They're very ugly. They're not appealing people.
You tried mercenary work?
I would wager,
Might
yeah.
suit you.
Trouble?
So this is a Slode.
Rorikstead's a nice enough little
wow,
hamlet
yeah.
with a boring post.
That is ambulatory Jabba the Hutt.
Imagine that thing.
Be glad you're here in the city, not out in the world.
Going on the incel forums in the Elder Scrolls universe.
Okay, ready? No, I'm gonna retract. Back up from that statement. I'm not gonna say that out loud. I have to remember that I'm on Twitch right now, and the same social rules don't apply here as with my friends.
Why is there so little light in here?
The problem here is I'm on Twitch, and that means I can't talk about dick as freely.
So anyway, we're gonna disenchant this Iron Hand Gauntlet so we can put it on other stuff later.
Yeah.
Hey, now we're level 6.
Slug internet. What is on the slug internet?
I'm debating whether I should even bother increasing my fatigue. My stamina. Yeah, but like I could use it on like magicka or something. Just I need so much magicka.
You'll probably want to increase it like later.
Yeah, probably.
For now, you definitely want to boost that magic and health while you're getting levels pretty frequently.
See, the problem is because I'm leveling up so quickly, I don't have anything I can really spin this perk on.
Don't forget you can just hold it.
I could. It's power attacks.
Anyway, what's on the slug internet?
Slug porn.
Is a lot of pictures of hot slimy slug ass? Or
Not everybody.
Or is it possibly a lot of pictures of hot sluggy like
Intimidation requires 70 speech. And I can think of like 3 instances in the entire game where you actually have intimidation as an option.
Oh, I know what's on the slug internet. Can't say it because we're on Twitch.tv. Like the internet would have online courses for magic, and it'd be very early 1990s.
Honor to
these
you,
spaces. And I was thinking of like Elder
Father
Scrolls
says I'm too young to
Geocities.
train with the sword.
And that's a really good image.
Father says I'm too young to train with the sword, so I practice with my fists.
We should probably actually hand Amaran's sword in for, you know,
The meager like $5.
yeah, whatever he's gonna get. Well, it might be a little bit better because I'm level 6 instead of level like 3.
You tried mercenary? Sometimes I miss the... You found it! Thank you. Here, my father had a favorite sword and shield technique.
Oh yeah, he just gives
Let
you,
me
he
teach
gives
it
you
to
like
in honor of his memory.
ranks in block and one-handed swords. Or one-handed weapons.
Right then.
My cousin's out fighting dragons.
So like
He
I
was
just got
working.
free experience, pretty much.
What is it? Dragons?
Okay. So now, do want to go to that bandit camp and get that one, you know, the one fucking mammoth tusk I need, and the other like 13 that are in that thing, so I can just sell them for money.
Or you can use them for alternative purposes.
I'm cautious but interested.
Well, you see, if you take a mammoth tusk, stick it in.
I'm glad the Discord chat cut out right at that moment. Because I just hear, if you take your mammoth tusk and stick it in your, and then it cut.
Good.
Keep forgetting what my jump button is.
Triangle, right?
It's ads for me.
So square is your square your inventory.
Square's my sheath and unsheathed weapon.
Triangle your.
Triangle's my inventory. Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense, Todd.
Yeah, come on, Todd. The assassination of the Elder Scrolls by the coward Todd Howard.
Todd Howard.
How's it going, buddy?
Steal that horse and kill those people from that horse.
Kill the people.
That's all you got?
See, it's not these guys I'm worried about. It's the next guys that show up. Those are like.
You're gonna kill the horse. Kill with horse.
Yeah, you know what? Sure. A thing that I did not like in Oblivion is the fucking yeah, mounted combat. I cannot imagine it's very good in this either.
It's functional.
I gotta get them to show up anyway.
You can hold down the attack to charge up a swing, and then it'll cost stamina. You can hold it.
Costs a lot of stamina.
Oh yeah, the full swing costs like
So I'm getting the feeling that a lot of what they did for special edition is they added more grass.
That's kind of what I'm feeling too. Wow, you could also be an archer from horseback. It's kind of fucky because you're on a horse. And it's really hard to aim at things.
Do I have to actually like open the chest?
Yeah, you do. God, I forgot how slow the vanilla horses are. They're like barely faster than your running speed.
Oh yeah, another thing about Daggerfall is like the cities in that game are enormous.
Are they?
We're talking like actual fantasy metropolis kind of. Pretty much.
And then like after that they're like handgun. We can't do that.
Because I tried out the swing and everything beforehand, and honestly, let's just do it the right way, which is on foot. Opening the menu and healing with relative impunity.
Well, if you're not gonna ride the horse, at least eat it.
This is a good point. I should kill the horse and get the horse meat out of it.
Just, you've got this whole thing, this horse meat that
It's a lot of horse meat.
You get this horse meat that fits in both of your hands. It's all slimy and gross. Just wanna
On
sit
second
there.
thought, I think we're good. You know, it's not good though. The fact that this guy isn't launched into the sun. Can I get? What? Okay.
Oh no. That sounds like that sounds great.
It's not anything so special.
Oh, okay. The camera's fucked.
Wow, that is a hardy horse.
Oh yeah, that's right. Horses, when they're alive, aren't affected by physics.
Well, yeah, but also like,
you can't boost or dodge.
yeah, also like,
Holy shit, that thing has a lot of health.
that's a shitload of health. Holy shit. You know, it probably doesn't have that much health. We need to find a deer and do a sneak attack with ice fights.
I think the horse also just regenerated its health.
It totally did.
We're gonna be at this for a while, folks.
No, friendship ended with horse. Now deer is my new target.
Don't see the deer and the horse are conspiring, working together now. Horse is gonna report you to the deer. Oh man, there's a trying to kill you. Don't let him.
Well, that was wholeheartedly disappointing. That deer had a ring on it.
Bye, horse. Silver garnet ring. All right, now can you launch this elk into the sun?
I gotta be careful with his fucking ass and his guard. They'll be like, actually, you're trying to murder me.
The reward is ring on its antlers as a baby. It just never fell off as it grew.
That would have to be one really sturdy antler then. Because those things are shed on a regular basis, I'm pretty certain.
I'm going to put.
I have a horrible, very, very upsetting and sad forward towards you guys. Holy shit, I forgot the last word. Antler ring, never outgrew. No wait, I need to make it 6 words. For sale, antler ring, never outgrew. Where are you going?
It's a great question. Let's see how much.
You have a lot of.
I need.
You have a lot of threads.
I gotta go back to fucking town and sell this crap. That's a cool helmet. It'll be great in 30,000 years when I'm able to craft one.
That's a cool helmet, and it's gonna. No, I'm just about to repeat your joke. Shit.
I have to craft 30,000 suits of steel armor so I can make.
Got some good pieces out here if you're looking to buy. More inside.
2, 1. Now the armor. Done. I'm not funny.
There's 1 iron ingot.
I don't claim. Take a look.
The stream peaked at You Baltimore.
Yeah, we are past it now. We are on the down. We are on the decline.
You're on the decline where it's like 10:30 at night, and I'm like starting to get tired.
We'll come to a closing point here in a second. So here's what I'm gonna do.
I haven't had dinner yet.
Oh, I thought you already ate.
I ate, but it was like 2 sandwiches. It was like early dinner, not like a full dinner.
Okay, so we got an iron ingot.
Don't forget to check inside the shop if you need anything.
We're gonna make the horned helmet. Yeah, for the good luck.
It's so busy. I forgot how rich you get so quickly in Skyrim vanilla.
Oh yeah, I've already got 2,000 gold.
Yeah, because in my game, that goes away fast.
Once again, I forget I'm a Khajiit, so everything looks stupid.
In my game, like I like have to buy upgrades frequently. I have to buy food. I have to like pay repairs, pay supplies. It's all very expensive.
Get them fresh from the farms daily, Nazim.
I'm thinking when I'm done with the stream, just I'm probably gonna redo Skyrim and like, you know, mod it with the full complement of mods. Oh no, that'll be impossible. It'll crash 1,000 times.
I'm not afraid of you, you know, even if you are
Free
mad.
map or Skyrim?
Probably both. But no, like, usually I mod Skyrim to be very, like, visually impressive, and as a result...
It's fine. It's not Khajiit's fault that Nord loves it. You do look like a very...
I work for
honestly,
Bellathor,
like
a
pretty
general
banging
goods
ass
store.
to you.
I am pretty cool looking.
All you need is that, like...
Come by Bellathor's shop at the market. I'm sure we've got something you need.
Well, like, you've already got some, like, pouches on you. Which is pretty cool.
Yeah, see, that's the thing, is like, I hope that in Elder Scrolls 6, that's just the thing you can do, is you can just make fucking belts and pouches.
Oh my god, now that I'm looking at your face, it's actually pretty badass.
Yeah, that's why I'm the ultimate
I
cat.
don't want to fuck with.
That's why I am the ultimate cat man. Oh god. I was too close to that
I
wall.
work with my mother to sell fruits and vegetables. It's fun most days, but hard work.
Well, I'll probably be doing Frostfall and stuff, so it'll probably be a little bit more dictated by necessity.
I'm the commander of the guard here.
And I'll definitely be using that perk mod, so...
I'll have to link you the Unpauser mod too.
Yes, I do want to do that.
I'll link you a few more.
Cause trouble in Whiterun, and
Some
I'll
of the
haul
ones
you
I
into
use.
the Dragon's Reach dungeon myself.
Like, the main thing is just going to be fucking taking the time to download all this shit.
Downloading and installing Skyrim mods, and then getting them all to work together.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to... I'm gonna have to, like, create a new fucking installation of Rybash.
Yeah.
Terrible and powerful Talos. We
I already got
unworthy
loot.
servants give
Great.
But did you know that for Oblivion I had to install the older version of Loot? Boss.
Does loot not support
It does, but it doesn't work very well with Rybash for Oblivion. And some mods are not tracked properly by Loot for Oblivion. And it's because, you know, some mods came out after Loot or Boss became Loot.
I'll have to also like hand you a mod that you can't get anymore because the modder like retired, and because they hold on. I'm back. The modder like retired, and because they weren't making mods anymore, they decided
Come to
I'm
chat
gonna
with
take
an old
down
woman,
all of my
hmm?
mods.
Do your
Nobody can have them anymore, so I'm not making them.
Which mod is it?
It's extended.
Divine smile on you, friend.
It's it basically takes like vanilla stuff and basically puts it into the existing random encounter system.
Okay.
Like it's like the big thing it does is potential companions will actually be out doing stuff now.
Neat. I know not to install immersive patrols anymore because apparently it causes save bloat.
Does?
Mm-hmm.
Fuck, I'm using it right now.
And like it's a shame because it does a lot of cool stuff, but like yeah.
It's in my game right now.
Are you using mod organizer?
Using Nexus.
Oh.
The hell program.
Yeah, because I don't really use mod organizer, so like whenever I want to remove a mod, it's usually pretty painless.
For me, I am very, very cautious about taking stuff out.
And it's like
I typically don't take anything out unless I absolutely need to.
I usually only take stuff out if I'm gonna start a new playthrough.
Yeah, same.
Which is like then it's perfectly fine. It's just
Mid playthrough, it's like nope, I'm gonna take stuff out if it's gonna kill me.
But yeah, like I know when I was using immersive controls last time, I had like a one save file that was like nearly 300 megabytes, and it's like that's too much.
That's not great. It's not wonderful. It's not crunchy-tastic.
Right, anyway, I think it's a good time to go ahead and just wrap the stream up. So, thank you everyone for showing up. Skyrim is okay. I need to mod it more extensively, but like there's stuff here that is cool.
Next time you guys play Skyrim, remember to install the Moody Shuffle mod so you can play it more. It's coming out on Netflix.
Coming out on Netflix. Exclusive release release platform Netflix for this mod that makes
Did you know there's
one of the
fruits
shouts say
that
"fuck you,
actually grow
Baltimore."
better in-
All right, so later, everybody.